This shit can get real freaky. How about Pippi Long and Dashiki? Where you at in the address, they'll meet you. Lariano. We ain't going back and forth and fake beefing. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. I'm the reason everybody got K's on the block. What I pay for my watch, don't you hang with the cops? It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Hang with the ops, you'll get slayed with the ops. I'm the reason everybody got K's on the block. What I pay for my watch, don't you hang with the cops? It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. Shit, nigga. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Like, why you even hanging with them for? Oh, that's your cousin, I put his brains on the floor. They don't never throw no money at the club. All they do is see you and speak me up. Like, what's with all the dick riding, bro? He's a nobody, I sent his ass to the stove. Deep on shit, what you got up on my 40? I like FNs, Dracos, 9s, and Lil 40. I sent MJ and MJ outside the garage, you know. Give us front row tickets right now before we extort you. Better listen when I speak right now, who getting money? They'll slide up on your block right now, I'm not important. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. I'm the reason everybody got K's on the block. What I pay for my watch, don't you hang with the cops? It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Hang with the ops, you'll get slayed with the ops. I'm the reason everybody got K's on the block. What I pay for my watch, don't you hang with the cops? It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. Shit, nigga. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Fake tough, you must be off a pill, bro. My shooter with me ain't always in kill mode. Thanks to Rami, I'm always in chill mode. Don't think about it, nigga, I'll kill something. Don't make me go up in the go yard still package. Did him like SpongeBob, I'll kill Patrick. I make niggas give real good captions and double back on the candlelight and get it cracking. Get the slap, who put $10,000 on my head, niggas capping. Niggas rappers, niggas actors, niggas bitches, niggas faggots. When his body hit the ground, get his jacket. The op lover died too, it was tragic. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. I'm the reason everybody got K's on the block. What I pay for my watch, don't you hang with the cops? It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Hang with the ops, you'll get slayed with the ops. I'm the reason everybody got K's on the block. What I pay for my watch, don't you hang with the cops? It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. Shit, nigga. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Man, we don't do ops. We don't do niggas who hang with them, associate with them. Nigga, we gon' fuck about none of that, nigga. Yeah, we gon' put you in this casket too. Shit, we gon' get this nigga a 6 man casket. Yeah, hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. Yeah, hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. Yeah, yeah, hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. It's 2021 and niggas still broke.
Shalom, man. We back again. Tonight, it's gonna be an eventful night. About to expose white Hebrew Israelites and WHI. So I'm not even sure if I can call them white Hebrew Israelites and give them that stamp. I don't know the dude haplogroup like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Brother don't want to share his haplogroup. Where did he do that at? And we asking for haplogroups. We trying to identify you. You got so much noise and all this racist stuff to talk about with Black Americans claiming to be Jews. Why can't you give us your haplogroup? I'm going to tell you guys why this man cannot reveal his haplogroup. The reason why he cannot reveal his haplogroup is because he knows damn well that he has a Europeoid haplogroup. He has a haplogroup that is related to the Caucasus. He has a haplogroup that's probably Armenoid. He has a haplogroup that has nothing to do with the original Levantine population. He has a haplogroup that has nothing to do with the fathers of Afroasiatic. The fathers that would have brought in Afroasiatic and then Semitic would have eventually divulged from that original branch. He knows that. He knows those people were not speaking Afroasiatic before the Copper Age. So this guy does not want to reveal his haplogroup. He has the link to tonight's show so he can jump on and we can debate the information and have a quick informal debate. But even if he doesn't jump on, he's going to get exposed tonight because we're going to show and prove that these dilettantes on the internet that like to be social media warriors, keyboard kung fu martial artists, Krav Maga on the keyboard, black belts, don't have the information. They don't understand the science. They don't understand what they're talking about. They make shit up as they go. Ad hoc rescue fallacy. We're going to cover that tonight. And we're going to show and prove that this guy is a complete dilettante and has no business talking about who is eligible to be an Israelite, who is eligible to be even considered a Jew, because he can't even answer a simple question like, what is your haplogroup? And you know what? I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and then we're gonna go over these Facebook comments, since these guys are cowards and do not want to come on the link or hit the link and show face. All you guys are cowards. All of y'all. You got all of the bravery in the world when it comes to being on social media, and you can meme bomb people. All you do is bring a bunch of memes. Then we hit your ass with 10 sources, solid sources, certified sources. 10 sources, EP2 being the father Afro-Asiatic. The Akkadians having haplogroup E. The E marker being Proto-Semitic, Proto-Semites. You getting your ass beat the fuck up, and you don't want to show face. Hey, Nehemiah Yasharala said, which white Israelite are you talking about? I don't even know if I call, you know what I'm saying? I just threw that out there as a zinger, but I don't even know if I call this man a white Hebrew Israelite, because I kind of reserve that to my brothers. And when I say brothers, I'm talking about those that are Ashkenazi, Mizrahi, and so on and so forth, nominal Jews that do have the E marker. To be honest with you, I think BHIs and WHIs should unite. Even though y'all use BHIs as a term in a negative way, but I'm putting that out there. People gonna click, they're gonna click the video and see what he's talking about. White Hebrews. I knew that guy. I knew, and this is something this dude did today. He was like, "Oh, you sure you related to E1B1B?" And then he showed a picture of white people with E1B1B. You know what I told him? That's family. That's family. You late to the party. We don't do phenotypes over here. We don't say or demarcate someone based off their phenotype. We go off of the pedigree, vertical relateness, meaning those people with E markers in the Middle East or wherever they might be, in Europe, in the Balkans, we share an ancient ancestor. We branch from the same tree. So all that racist talk ain't gonna help. All that color is not gonna help. We dealing with science, man. Then he said, "Oh, you guys don't believe in the Tanakh." Okay, let's see who don't believe in the Tanakh. Genesis 9 verse 19 says, let me let people in. You know what I'm saying? I'm random. My sister Shari in the building. Let me drop this banner real quick. My sister Shari, Yap Gang in the building. My brother Sean the Don in the building.
Yeah.
So before I go in, man, what's y'all thoughts on Laban? Because I'm gonna drop names. Laban, Rabbi Lewis, you are not welcome. You know not to come on my shows, man. Unless you got your DNA and you ready to talk about it, your ass is finna get kicked out of here quick with the quickness. But anyway, excuse me, y'all. What are your guys' thoughts? Yeah, he got out of here. What are you guys' thoughts on Laban's statements, the other brother's statements on the Israelites and whatnot, and his idea behind who a Jew is? Does anybody want to bring that out? Touch on that?
He's a racist, troll, anti-Semitic,
right?
Dishonest.
Bring it out.
He considers us to be like pre-Adam. 1 minute we're pre-Adamites, another minute we're Bantu. He can't make up his mind whether we pre-Adamites or whether we Bantu. He wants to literally whitewash every type of history and say it's his people doing everything. And when he says his people, he's just talking about, quote unquote, white people.
Right. Which all white people are not his people.
Correct.
So he's a racist. He's a bigot. What you want to add to that, Sean?
Yeah, it's continuous with these guys. Him, Hebrew Israelism, with Laban. It's a few of them. They keep following us around, trolling all videos that are made. Always have something to say.
Right. So they're pretty much trying to be in the way. Pretty much, they're making sure if they see us progressing or they see us sharing information, they're making sure they're in the comment board to try to, be parasites and nag and get in the way. Nuisance.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
nuisance.
Exactly. And just continuously making these comments, I'll add on later. I'm gonna let y'all move forward, and then I got something to say about these things.
Okay, all right. We got my brother Avery in the building, Hebrew Israel in the building. We're talking about, Laban and friends. My
Let's
WHI brother.
Oh, Michael
Right.
Anthony, Zach, I believe his last name is Stewart. So we got Laban Lakim, however you pronounce his last name. Michael Anthony Dodd, and then we got Zach Stewart.
Oh, that's his name, Michael Anthony Dodd.
Yup.
Okay, because I don't know their names. So Laban, Michael Anthony Dodd, and Zach is the three individuals that we're discussing tonight.
Yup.
All right, Avery, real quick, what's a quick summary, your synopsis of these three individuals and their behavior on social media?
All right, so I would say that these three individuals have never, ever quoted a scientific paper in their life, let alone read one. Everything they post is a meme, a literal meme that you will find on 4chan or Stormfront, one of those racist websites. And they clearly are racist because of the things that they post, such as naked African children. That's downright pedophilia, in my opinion. And they post these things on Facebook. I'm surprised the FBI or anybody hasn't cracked down on them, because these photos are in their cell phones. Furthermore, they post just other pictures of naked Africans as well, claiming that everything they post is us without knowing the nuance of Africa, that it's a very diverse continent and not everybody there is the same. Furthermore, every time you bring up a scientific paper, they call it pseudo. So Christopher Ehret, E. Lipsky, all these linguists and scientists that speak on Afro-Asiatic or African history or Semitic history, culture, and language, genetics. They basically, say that they're all pseudo, all these academics who went through college, through school to learn about, all of this ancient Near Eastern and African history. They're all pseudo, apparently. So these three individuals seem to basically be hardcore trolls that, frankly, I'm surprised is still allowed on Facebook. Like I said, they post derogatory photos. They have absolutely no credible science behind any of their claims. And, they're just downright racist. But that's what I would say when I sum up these three individuals.
I would also add Violet, because we've seen threats, downright trying to get physical. I would add violence. So not only they're a hate group, they're a violent hate group.
Right.
Made an attempt at doxing one of our members of the Yap gang.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They threatened a man's life and his family, his daughters, saying that they're going to find him, doxing him, showing all of his personal information that may or may not be true anyways. But still, the fact that they will go through this to try to scare him into, I'm just going to say the words, killing his family, that's borderline, can lead you to jail. That's illegal. It's actually illegal to make certain verbal threats, even through text and on Facebook. So you can take legal action. And these guys probably should be a restraining order against them or something.
I didn't even know Armanoids had rednecks. That's redneck behavior. That's Ku Klux Klan behavior. You know what I'm saying? You guys,
That's Red Hook behavior. That's what that is. Red Hook.
Red Hook. Yeah, man. These individuals, man, they're getting exposed tonight. We're gonna show what these guys say on Facebook and show that these guys are not intelligent. These people are dilettantes, and they're pretty much just colorist, racist, fascist people, and they don't understand line of descent, which we're gonna go over here in a minute. They don't understand autosomal DNA, Y DNA, and stuff of that nature. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this: if someone says, "Hey, I have 18% Chinese DNA," I'll just say something like that. That does not mean you descend from Chinese directly, or ancient Chinamen directly, or Han. Let me put it like that, be specific. That doesn't mean you descend from them. You have to have a sex chromosome to determine that. What autosomes do is show who you admix with. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. So what these dudes do, and LeBron and the what's the other dude, Michael, they're not the only ones that do this. I've seen someone else bring up the Natufians and then try to connect them to the Jews and say, yeah, so the Natufians were there, and then the Jews and the Ibero-Maurutians. Wait, hold on, wait a minute. What are you talking about? If you're talking about the Jews with the J markers, they do not descend from the Natufians. They don't. In order for you to descend from that Natufian, you have to share the markers, the paternal markers. That's how we know if you descend. And clearly, this guy doesn't understand that concept. He doesn't know how DNA transmission works. He doesn't know how biology works. So just because you share some DNA with a particular group does not make you that particular group. So we're going to make that clear tonight. We're going to make that abundantly clear. So what I'm going to do is go to the Facebook post, and we're going to share with you guys what these people have been saying in their type of arguments, just to reveal.
Also, I don't mean to cut you off, Shoe, but I want to make one quick point. We offered them to come onto the show. We sent them the link, the StreamYard link, so that they can make their point across, so they can make their piece. So it's not like, oh, we're just saying all this stuff without them being able to defend themselves. We sent them the link. They're refusing to click the link. So we just want to make that point clear as well. We told them that we're live streaming. So.
Right, exactly.
Also challenged them to debates. We've also challenged them to debates and on Facebook, and they refuse.
Right. Yeah, we've been throwing out, that invitation, and not just to them. Several people, a lot of people that talk all the noise on the internet, trust and believe, they've gotten the invitation to come on the channel and debate. They do not want to debate. 93, Garfield, all those guys that talk the loudest, they do not want to have a formal debate, 3 rounds, and a judge. They don't want it to do a debate because they know in a debate is structured. You're going to be judged on the things you say. You can't just make up stuff like this guy that we're about to reveal. This guy just makes up anything. And he levied an allegation towards us saying we don't believe in the Bible. That's what he said. We don't believe in the Bible. We contradict the Bible. But these are the same people that are on record saying that Noah's flood never happened. It was a myth.
They also called us pre-Adamites.
Pre-Adamites. Where is that in the Bible? What else? Abraham
also
comes from the Caucasus now. Where is that in the Bible?
Shem, Ham, and Japheth all come from the Caucasus.
Yes, Shem, Ham, and Japheth all come from the Caucasus.
Jacob didn't necessarily exist. Jacob didn't exist. So, why are we trying to connect ourselves to mythical individuals when they're trying to connect themselves as J-Hackle group to the same people? The hypocrisy.
Well, if he's saying that, then Abraham don't exist. We got to apply the same logic. Why are you guys invoking Abraham? And then I'm going to bring out something to show that don't even make sense. That because they're trying to say that J Marker came into the Levant with Abraham. That makes no sense because J Markers got into the Levant prior to him even being there. They don't understand that.
Language. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, go ahead. Bring it out. Go ahead.
Plus, Semitic languages were spoken in the Levant for centuries, long before haplogroup J arrived in the Levant.
Exactly. So right now I'm trying to pull the right conversation up. I believe it's the one where you start off with the Armanoid phenotype, right?
It is. Yes, it is. With
It's the
two
thread
photos.
right there. All right. Just bear with me. It looks a little different than my phone, so I'm trying to make sure I got the right one. Yeah, this is it here. This is it here. So I'm going to share my screen, and you guys are going to see these dilettantes live and in action. And what's being stated. Some of you guys that are viewing this are probably familiar with these cats, you know what I'm saying? Because they go around Facebook finding anybody that's black and trying to challenge if they're Jews or not. They're not doing this with other groups. They're not doing this with other people that claim to be Jews. It's specifically blacks. They got a problem with black people. This is why it comes off racist. Because it's like, I don't see you doing this to any other group but black Americans or black people in general.
Right. And we told them, like I even posted studies, how we accept Jews, like, everyday Jewish people with haplogroup E as being Jews. Like, we have no problem with that. And they still don't care, which is interesting.
Right. And they always get caught up on that because they try to make it an argument of skin color. Right? They always try to make an argument of skin color, but hey, if these people from the Balkans have E3B, then there are people. The Jewish people, E3B, there are people. The brother from Lithuania that has E3A, he's white. He has a European, quote unquote, phenotype, but he's he's Yap. All right, so
separate E1B1A from E1B1B.
All right, so this is the conversation here. I'm trying to load up the entire conversation. It's quite lengthy. You know how these guys do. They spew a bunch of nonsense. So I'm going to go to the top of the conversation. And then we're going to work down and then counter these points live. So Ivry shared what he shared in the past and done extensive research and videos on about the Armanoids and who they are and the phenotype of these people. So he says this is true. This phenotype is classified as Armanoid, typical among ancient non-Semitic populations and home to Anatolia, Armenia, and Iran. And then he gives you the information here. We will pull it up if needed. He also follows up and said Hittites and Hurrians are a great example of the Armanoid type. Hittites are Indo-European Anatolians, and Hurrians are ancient Caucasian people. Both were in the ancient Near East, but neither are Semitic in origin. And the reason why he's bringing this up, because I made a post poking fun at Laban, because allegedly this is him with this hook nose here. So this guy always makes fun of black people and whatnot. So I was like, man, look at this dude nose. It looked like a protractor and a compass. You cannot be talking about anybody and you got a nose like that. That's an isosceles triangle, right? This boy got a slobber knock on his face. They want to talk about black people all day. Inspector Gadget head ass. Nigel Thornberry head ass. All right, so this is how this conversation started, right? So about the Armanoid nose, because when people see this nose, they automatically assume that it's a Jewish thing. It's an exclusive Jewish trait. But actually, when you do the research, and thanks to our brother Avery, he has done this extensive research about where this actual phenotype comes from, and it's related to the Armanoid people. So this is why he brought that up. And as you can see, we even have pictographs here depicting what an Armanoid nose looks like. All right, so back to the conversation. So I'm giving you guys context on how this stuff started. So Hittites, Hurrians are a great example of the Armanoid type. Hittites are Indo-European, Anatolian, and Hurrians are ancient Caucasian people. Both were in the ancient Near East, but neither are Semitic in origin. Pay attention to what he's saying. And then he gives you a bunch of pictographs here, ancient Hittites and their noses, and modern people that have this phenotype. It is not exclusively a Jewish thing, as you know, some pundits in the media will try to make it seem to be. So back to this conversation. Wow, there's a lot of comments. I got to load up view previous replies. So LeBron,
you can't join an actual video. He has a comment.
Right. We can't get this guy. Look at how long this conversation lasted. It's like we can't get him on the show, but he can stay on his phone, on his computer, working his thumbs to ad nauseum, arguing. Why are you afraid to show face and come up here and be a man? Somebody said he got a Dorito nose, corn chip nose, tortilla nose. Somebody said he had a Roman nose. That boy do got that isosceles triangle going. I'm telling you. Nehemiah says his nose look like the Horites. Right. Exactly, okay. Spamming is what they do best. Dude is still commenting on the post. We done went live and everything, sent the invitation, and he on there commenting, arguing with himself right now. Bring your ass to the live so you can back up these claims that you made.
If anybody knows a way we can live stream on Facebook, because I know you can y'all help us out? Because we can actually live stream this on the Rumble Room as well. I just put the link in Rumble, but we could actually do this live.
Actually, we are live streaming on Facebook. We're live streaming on MYMT. Yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad.
We're live streaming on Facebook right now.
Somebody on the panel, please send me the link so I can put it in the Rumble Room.
All right, so LeBron replies to the Armanoid thing by doing what they always do, ignoring it. Don't even touch on it. Don't even bring it out. Don't even say, okay, yeah, this is where don't even, acquiesce and say, okay, yes, this is where it comes from. This is what they do, passing of the buck, moving the goalposts. We're not even talking about this. This is what LeBron says. And LeBron not even in the conversation after this. I don't believe it. I think he left. So right here he says, so where was these Negroid statues and DNA in Mesopotamia and the Levant? First of all, why is that even a standard in proving anything about our people being there? Two,
I know why.
Why?
Because it's all about lookership. Look at it.
Exactly.
That proves my point.
Exactly. It's all about looks. It's all about looks. It's not about research. It's not about anthropology, archaeology, genetics. No, throw all that out the way. Go off of looks. And this is
also
how you catch
emotionalism as well.
Right. This guy says, so where's the Negroid statues and DNA? There's no such thing as Negroid DNA. That is a very antiquated way of looking at things. DNA is not Negroid, Caucasoid, or Mongoloid. That comes from craniometry. That is not a term that's being in use in modern genetics because it doesn't make any sense. Because someone that has E1B1A can have a completely different phenotype from a relative that has E1B1A. So, and then it says the DNA is in the Levant. The DNA is there. We have Yap markers, ancient Yap markers in the Levant. And you idiots keep bringing up the Natufians. Do you not know that that's the Yap marker? E1B1 and E1B1B are Yap markers. And E1B1 is the parent of E1B1A and E1B1B. You guys
also,
go ahead.
I'm gonna make this just real quick, but also all Jews have, sub-Saharan African DNA or a Yoruba/Luya Bantu component in them that goes back, 3,400 years ago. How did they get that if we weren't there?
Exactly. We can bring that article up, but that contradicts the Bible. No, that contradicts your idiocy. That's what that contradicts. You have no evidence, no proof of the things you say, but then want to pull up DNA reports and don't even know what you're looking at. So we'll go to Primer Johnny 2011 and bring out what the brother just stated about the history of the African gene flow. Let me pull it up. Shalom to everybody that just got in the room. Hit the like and subscribe button. They said, "Oh, the dude is on Facebook now, live stream." Yeah, he only doing that so he can make the excuse to not show face. Bro, I'll do another show tomorrow. When you available? We'll do another show. Every day we'll do a show until you bring your ass on. All right, so let's pull this paper up, and I want to get straight to the business on this. It's 3,400 years ago, right? Or 35. Avery.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at something.
72 generations or something like that. Yeah, I'm trying to quickly go through it.
400 years ago. I remember that specifically. And it was before the Babylonian exile. These Jews had, a Yoruba component before the Babylonian exile 3,400 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, let me share and show that real quick.
Which goes to show you we were in that land, you know. If it was before the exile, and the Babylonian one was the first one, it's either Babylon or Assyria, but it was the first one.
Right. So this is the article about the ancient African gene flow, and I'll show the title here real quick. But I want to read what the brother is referring to. It says here, a striking finding from our study is consistent detection of 3 to 5% sub-Saharan African ancestry in the 8 diverse Jewish groups we studied. So the DNA that he asked for, ironically, is in the people that live there today. The people that you accept as nominal Jews have this DNA. And it lists the groups: Ashkenazis from Northern Europe, Sephardis from Italy, Turkey, and Greece, and Mizrahis from Syria, Iran, and Iraq. This pattern has not been detected in previous analysis of mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosome data. And although it can be seen when re-examining published results of structure-like analysis of autosomal DNA, it was not highlighted in those studies or shown to be unambiguously reflect sub-Saharan admixture. We estimate that the average data mixture of 72 generations, less than 2,000 years, assuming 29 years per generation, is older than that in Southern Europeans and or other Levantines. So when we look at this DNA, the DNA is dated to be older than the other surrounding groups. It says the point estimates of over all 8 populations are between 1,600 and 3,400 years ago, but with largely overlapping confidence intervals. It is intriguing that the Mizrahi, and Iraqi Jews, who are thought to descend at least part from the Jews who were exiled to Babylon about 2,600 years ago, share the signal of African admixture. An important caveat is there is significant heterogeneity in the dates of African mixture in various Jewish populations. Now, here we go, right here. A parsimonious. Now, if you guys have been following the channel, you should know what parsimonious means. It's the explanation with the least amount of assumptions. A parsimonious explanation for these observations is that they reflect a history in which many of the Jewish groups descend from a common ancestral population, which was itself admixed with Africans prior to the Jewish diaspora that occurred in the 8th to 6th century BC. So before the diaspora, before the Assyrians came in and replaced people and expelled people, before any of that, before the Babylonians, before that period of time, Africans were there, and this is how they would pick up this DNA. Exactly, Nehemiah Yasharallah. DNA cuts all of their arguments. DNA cuts the color argument, because now we're not arguing on pigmentation or what the person particularly looked like. We're not doing that argument. We're showing you that the DNA was there in that land. That's why it's so pertinent for us to study the DNA to show and prove that we were not locked in Africa as some type of prison. People use Africa as a prison, an ideological prison to lock us up in, to say we're not here, we're not there. Even though we found ancient DNA in France, we found ancient E1B1A in Iran, we found it in the BMAC culture. We found it. We found it in Corsica, which is a very important paper because it tells you that where we find E1B1B samples, we also find E1B1A samples. And they purport that these people migrated. Because how did they get to Corsica in the first place? They didn't teleport. They didn't do the Run Dalton. You know, Run Dalton believed in ancient Egypt. They had a teleport machine. You know, Osiris had a teleport machine that looked like a lotus flower. They didn't teleport. They migrated. And they say they migrated through the Levant corridor, through the Balkans into Italy, what is known as Italy, to Corsica. So that means we would have to have DNA or DNA relatives, ancient ancestors that actually made that route and was around in those areas. You cannot take that from us. That's empirical. You want to add something to that, Avery? I think we got my sister Jay Jackson in the building too. Shalom, sister.
Shalom. I'm just listening.
Shalom, JJ. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, so right, that right there just proves that, you know, we were in the Levant, we were in the land of Israel, the promised land, the land of Canaan, whichever term you want to use, and the Jews acquired our DNA before the Babylonian exile. And that's the key part, because obviously before the Babylonian exile, they were in Israel. And that means our ancestors were there, because you don't just pop up and get genetic admixtures out of nowhere. Like, the Jews aren't just going to have Eskimo DNA 3,400 years ago, you know. So keep in mind that our ancestors were indeed in the Levant 3,400 years ago during that would be the Iron Age of ancient Israel. So,
right. Right. In the DNA, if you look at the study, it's the Yoruba and what's the Bantu tribe that they
Luya Bantu, yeah, in Kenya.
The Luya Bantu and the Yoruba match those signals. So we can infer that they were in that land, because, like you said, the only way to get this DNA is to have sex with that person, mix with that person, admix with them. And that's how you get that DNA. And the only way you mix with people if you're in close proximity with them. This is why it says the parsimony explanation for these observations is that they reflect the history in which many of the Jewish groups descend from a common ancestral population, which was itself admixed with Africans prior to the beginning of the Jewish diaspora. You can't get around that. Now, this is the part where he would say, oh, that contradicts the Bible. Where? How does it contradict the Bible? You don't even believe in the Bible. You think the flood is a myth. You don't believe that in what Genesis 9 and 19, verse 19 is true, that the three sons of Noah populated the entire planet after the destruction of the flood. You discount that. And you say that Abraham comes from the Caucasus. Where is that in the Bible? That Abraham descends from the Caucasus. Please show me that. Since we're the ones that are anti-Bible, anti-Tanakh, and we're going against it. So you show us in the Bible where all those things are so.
But guess what, Yeshu? Even if, let's just hypothetically give them this. Let's just say Abraham came from Armenia. Even if that's the case, guess what? We still find Bronze Age haplogroup E remains in Bronze Age Armenia. Both E1B1B, but also in Iran, we find E1B1A and E1B1B. So
exactly,
it don't even matter.
It don't even matter. It's like pick your poison. Pick your poison. We there. It's over with. There's really nothing to talk about, you know. In the article, let me give you guys the title of this article. The history of African gene flow into Southern Europeans, Levantines, and Jews. Marjani is the head geneticist on this one. And you guys can see where that's coming from. So we're going to go back to the Facebook post and deal with this guy's comments methodically. So,
by the way, I'm just going to make this quick point. He stopped messaging me specifically after I dropped the link and showed him that we're online and we're live. Now he's quiet.
Yeah, they said he was on Facebook Live right now. He started a live.
Oh, well, can somebody put that link in the chat? I want to kind of just look at it.
So that was Laban's comment. Where's the DNA? We pretty much smashed that. Laban also replies, why is it when I search the global ancient DNA map and take it to the Bronze Age, Iron Age, all that I could find is Hijkrt. Why is it 0 E1B1A in the Levant from 10,000 BCE to 70 AD? So think about what he just said here. So he says in the Bronze Age and Iron Age, all that I could find is Hijkrt. First of all, that's not even true because we've already established that E3B had its presence there. You know what I'm saying? That's why you jump to this point. Oh, E1B1A in the Levant. YAP markers are already there. You keep ignoring the fact that YAP is already there. E1B1's there, and E1B1B is there. E1B1 is the parent to E1B1A and E1B1B. Its descendants can create V38 chromosomes, which is the parent or the basal group of E1B1A. So what are you talking about here? This shows that these people don't understand DNA at all. They don't. And Eve Reed responded, did we lose somebody? Or somebody just came in?
I heard something, but I'm not for sure.
Oh, you're sure. You're sure. I see him. Shalom, brother. So right here, Avery responds with these statues here because these people are clearly dark-skinned people. You want to touch on this, Avery?
Yeah. So what you see is a mural of Elamites, or some people term them Elamites, but this is from Iran, specifically Susa or Susnia. And this would have been made around the time, I believe, either the early Iron Age or second Iron Age period. But yeah, these are just Elamite frescoes or murals. As you can see, the Elamite gods and the Elamite warriors are depicted with dark brown skin and curly hair and such. And the only reason I posted this is because he was claiming that the Middle East didn't have dark-skinned people, and I'm like, what? You can find tons of artwork of dark-skinned Middle Eastern peoples if you want to. There's also sources that literally mention the phenotype of the Elamites. But another interesting fact about the Elamites, before I give it back to Yeshua, is that Elam is actually the first born son of Shem. So, you can kind of use the Elamites as an example if you want, that the early Semites would have been looked like this at least. But that's all.
The Mari people as well, right? The Mari people too.
Right. Mm-hmm. I don't think I posted that one, but that's another good one. Yeah.
I believe Sargon said that a lot of these people were designated as the black land or the black people. That's in the ancient writings. When people see that, they'll say, "Oh, that's esoteric." Yeah, that's esoteric. It doesn't mean physically, but then you see depiction. These people
but
are.
This would be the part also. This would be the part also where he would say, "Oh, Yap Gang say that they don't phenotype, but whenever they do the presentations, they showing phenotypes of people. We're showing when Evie does this, he's showing what the people look like historically. We don't phenotype now because we find E1B1A, E1B1B amongst people who phenotypically don't look like us or don't look alike, period. So, that's another argument he would put up.
Yeah, but the people that's phenotyping is them. We're going to show it. And when we say phenotyping, we're talking about we demarcating people and saying you don't belong to certain ancestors because how they look. We don't do that. You guys do that. That's why you spend most of your time and energy on focusing on Black Americans on Facebook. You're trying to demarcate them and tell them you're not the people. That's all you focus on, black people. Because in your mind, you believe that Black people belong in an ideological prison known as Africa because you can't see them outside of that continent or outside of actually sub-Saharan Africa. Not just Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, really.
I almost never hear them talk about like the Kaifeng Jews all the way in China.
Won't you talk about the other European Jews that have haplogroup R? You don't talk about them. Y'all always uplift the J marker, but don't you know you demarcate everybody else that has G, K, L, T, R? That's amongst the accepted nominal Jews. You pretty much said they're not Jews. But I don't see you guys going on Facebook attacking them or probing them for their DNA. I don't see you guys doing that. Why? Because it's all about the color of our skin and nothing else. What they're saying is your black ass can't be anything but what we tell you what you are. And that's a sub-Saharan African, and that's it, nothing else. But they can be European Jews.
I even hear them talk about the Ethiopian Jews sometimes. Like that, they're not even Jews. This is every now and then.
They black, so they can't be Jews. That's what black means in their mind.
Yo, shalom, family.
Shalom, Yashar.
Shalom.
Shalom, Yashar. Yeah.
When you talk about the Luya connection, are they saying that that the Bantu speaking tribes that's in Africa, they originated in West Africa, right? This is what the scholars say, right?
The scholars say that the Bantu language originated in Africa. Yes.
Okay. This is what DNA say. And I'm not going to share my screen right now because the shoe got it up. But if y'all need me to source up, I definitely can do it.
Throw it on the screen. Throw it on the screen.
Bet. Okay. Let me share real quick.
Or do you need me to put it on my screen? You do it.
No, I got it, bro. I got you.
Yeah, let me put mine down. Oh, you got it.
Okay. So this is some information from our DNA chart, right? From our DNA records. And it's dealing with the Luya people, as you can see right here on the screen, right? Luya in Kenya. Let's see what it says about the Luya from the DNA aspect, right? It says the Luya are one of the many Bantu cultures in Africa. The Luya themselves can be further divided into several subcultures, each with a distinct but related dialect. So we got a similar language, family, where we can communicate amongst each other, right? It's believed that people speaking Bantu language originated in West Africa about 3,000 years ago and expanded eastward and southward as successful farming techniques fostered population growth. However, according to the Luya historical records, they migrated south to Kenya from Egypt. You see what I'm saying? Now, I can read further on, but I just wanted to make that point because it's very important to understand that a lot of our DNA records and migration records are not started in what we would call a Levant, because a lot of us, after the first captivity, we didn't come back home. So when our people that left out of Babylon came through Egypt, Mizraim, this is who they're talking about. Those Egyptians that never touched those Israelites that passed through and made their way on into Kenya. Yeah, that's who they talking about right here. I yield.
Hey, Yashar, read that from the however. Read that again for me, brother. Please, one more time, man.
No doubt. We right here. However, according to the Luya historical records, they migrated south to Kenya from Egypt.
That's fire right there. That's fire right there because, again, like we've been showing you, that matches the DNA. That explains why we see the Luya and Yoruba DNA components amongst the early or first Jewish population, man, before they even spread it out or they were taken from the land. We see it there. It matches the migration. It matches many of the migrations and oral testimonies that we hear about that's associated with these West African tribes as well. They say the same thing. That, hey, my ancestors have always taught that we came from outside of Africa. We came from the east and migrated into West Africa. And now the DNA is showing the same thing, man. You sure you want to bring some more out on that?
Nah, bro, I just wanted to tap in and support the source that you brought out with actual modern day science DNA. So it can be it's not subjective at all. We have solid, substantial evidence from different points of study to prove our point. It's not rhetoric, fam.
Exactly. What these
What
dudes on
DNA test
Facebook
was that?
doing.
I want to try it.
You sorry, you said what DNA company was that?
That was CRI Genetics. CRI
Genetics.
Genetics.
Thanks. My bad.
No doubt.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull this paper up real quick. Sean, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. You could just drop your kit in there, or you have to actually give them a sample.
No, I actually took the swab test and sent it off.
So yeah, you might want to check the website and see if you can do that, Sean. But like I said, the oral testimonies match the DNA and the migration patterns. We can clearly see that. Right now, I'm trying to pull this article up that deals with the ancestry and showing the West Eurasian ancestry and showing that, hey, we migrated from these areas, just like the oral testimony says. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But yeah, that's interesting, man. You heard Luya and then you pulled that out, man. That's all praises. All praises. That fits perfectly to what we're arguing tonight. And you know what? You guys that are watching, you see what we're doing is we're showing and proving. These dilettantes on the internet, they don't show and prove. All they do is troll us and give us memes and word of mouth and you black. That's all you hear. Like this dude kept calling, you a Bantu, you a Bantu. What does that mean? To them, that means you're not a Jew. Or that to them, you don't descend from Israelites. But you're not showing and proving nothing, man. You ain't give us no evidence, no nothing, no PDF, no reference. We can't even read where you getting this stuff from because you forging this stuff in your head as you go. That's why.
It's funny. He'll call some Bantu, then he'll show a picture of an ancient Nubian.
Yeah, ancient Nubians are not Bantus, idiot. What the hell?
That's funny. Hey, you need to play that clip. That's not scholarship.
Yeah, that's not scholarship. Hold on, let me. Yeah, man. I'm gonna play it when we get to that. Yeah, man, that's not scholarship at all, man. We're gonna ask Dr. Reggie about it here in a minute. But let me get this source I'm pulling up right now, and then I'll give y'all the title of it. First, I want to read from it. I actually just brought this up with my last video about the Eurasian migrations into sub-Saharan Africa. And I'm going to share my screen, show this source to back up what the Luya was saying, that they don't originally, they're not originally from West Africa or originally from sub-Saharan Africa, that they actually migrated there from Egypt, which makes sense because how do you get from the Levant into sub-Saharan Africa? You're going to have to pass Egypt, going to the Levantine corridor and going to Egypt and then deep into Africa. That's how it has to go, right? So I'm going to share my screen and pull this article up. This is impromptu, so we just going with the flow as we read this conversation, man. I'm glad my brother Yashar Tanks on the Ground shared that because it got my brain moving and thinking for more information to share with you guys. So this is the article here, and within this article, it talks about the results of a PCA analysis. Right. And what PCA analysis does, it shows the affinity of groups. And the affinity that we want to know about is the Near Eastern and Sub-Saharan African groups. Right. So it says the results of the PCA analysis that are based on African populations to construct the PC show that the Tafrod individuals do not cluster with any present-day population. Instead, they take an intermediate position between present-day North Africans and Sub-Saharan Africans. Specifically, they are flanked by North African Mozabites and the Sahrawi, and by East African Afars of the Near Eastern and Sub-Saharan African directions, respectively. The East African groups, Afar, Oromo, Somali, as well as a 3,000-year-old individual from Tanzania, are the closest to the Tafra from the Sub-Saharan African side. For the East African groups, which together with the Tafra take intermediate positions between the Sub-Saharan Africans and West Eurasians, genetic links with the Near East have been proposed. Now, remember what he said. that y'all don't have nothing to do with the Near East. And where's the DNA of the Near East? Check this out. Watch what this paper says. Watch what it says. I want you guys to really hone in on this and pay attention to what I'm about to read to you guys. And it's going to go with the information my brother Yashar provided with the Luya and their migratory story, right? Their oral testimony. It matches what we're seeing in DNA. And I'm going to prove it. Genetic links with the Near East have been proposed. These links include introduction of early Neolithic, Levant-like ancestry. So when they say, oh, you ain't got nothing to do with the Levant, here we go. We have genetic links with the Levant. Watch, it says associated with the spread of pastoralism into East Africa less than 4,000 years before present, and South Africa 2,000 years before present. A more recent link is the spread of Bronze Age Levant-like ancestry. Bronze Age Levant-like ancestry in sub-Saharan Africa, together with agriculture during the what? Bantu expansion. So when he on the internet calling y'all, oh, you a Bantu, you a Bantu. Thank you. Because we have the genetic links to the Near East. We can see the Levant-like ancestry with the Bantus, which matches the oral testimony of these Bantus. They've been telling you for eons and eons, hey, my ancestors told us that we really not from here. We're not indigenous to West Africa. We're not indigenous to Sub-Saharan Africa. We actually come from outside of Africa. They've been telling those stories. And just like the brother just showed you with the Luya, it matches with what they're finding with the genetics. So let me read this again. It says here, a more recent link is the spread of Bronze Age Levant-like ancestry in Sub-Saharan Africa, together with agriculture during the Bantu expansion. This will also explain why these Bantus had a lot of material culture that has its origin in Southwest Asia, like coconuts. Coconuts are not indigenous to Sub-Saharan Africa, but the Bantus had it. Bananas are not indigenous to Sub-Saharan Africa, but the Bantus had it. The ability to do metallurgy. What'd you say?
Yams.
Yams are not indigenous to Sub-Saharan Africa. So
horses.
Go ahead, bring them out. List them out, brother. You got it. List them.
Yeah, yams, horses, specific type of chicken, I believe. There was a few other things. I think there was nuts? Or wait, no, maybe it was a type of beans. I think a lot of West Asian animals.
Yeah,
cattle. Yeah,
cattle.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, Sean.
Yep. The double humpback cattle. That's not indigenous to Sub-Saharan Africa, which we find being associated with the Bantus. So it's all full circle. The oral testimonies match up, the DNA match up, and the material culture match up. It's telling the same story, that these people come from outside of Sub-Saharan Africa, which matches also the DNA studies showing Sub-Saharan African DNA will have date back to 3,400 years ago in the early Israelite cluster. It's all matching up. This is why they don't want to deal with DNA, archaeology, anthropology. They want to say it's anti-Bible because it's giving a better case for us. And they don't like that. When we study DNA on J, that's coming from the Caucasus. It has nothing to do with the Levant. They invaded the Levant through the Hurrians. But our DNA has always been there. We always had Yap markers there. That's why y'all bringing up the Natufians and Albero-Marusians. All right, let me get back to these comments, man. Oh, let me give you guys the name of this article. This is the supplementary materials for Pleistocene North African genomes linking Near Eastern and Sub-Saharan African human populations. So you guys can look it up and research that on your own. So let's get back to this conversation. Sweetening says only dromedaries have double humps, not cattle. Well, maybe I misspoke, but I think it's called a humpback cattle. I can look that up for you here in a minute, but we'll continue this show. But if you look up the humpback cattle, that comes from outside of Africa. It's not indigenous to Africa. Let me share my screen. Go back to this conversation we're having with this guy, with this dilettante. All right, so we left off here. Avery was showing pictures of the Elamites and them being dark skinned. And I'm glad he did that because a lot of them will say when we're reading about it, right? If we're reading texts that say black, all this esoteric doesn't really mean they were physically black. But we actually have art and murals that show and depict some of those people were black. Then he also came up with this source here. He said haplogroup E is Semitic, and other haplogroups adopted the Semitic language from haplogroup E. And he has a source here. It states, for example, Underhill et al. States that V38/M35 lineages was carried into the Near East from Africa in the Mesolithic. This V38/M35 in Africa corresponds to the TAQL 49A. It is far more likely the pre-Proto-Semitic speakers went into Near East at this time, where Semitic languages have long since dominated. But the predominant haplotypes in most Semitic-speaking populations are variants of haplotype 7 and haplotype 8 in the TAQL system, which are equivalent to M89 associated lineages. So these two are FM89 lineages. These are Europeoids. And according to our model, these will be Japhites, not Shemites. The most parsimonious, what does parsimonious mean? The explanation with the least amount of assumptions. The most parsimonious explanation is that ancestral Semitic was adopted by those bearing haplotype 7 and haplotype 8. So these J markers that speak Semitic today, their ancestors adopted it from who? The V38, M35. What's V38? E1B1A. What's M35? E1B1B. So the brother brought a perfect source showing the original speakers and the origin of Proto-Semitic comes from E markers, Gap Gang. And these FM89 lineages. Bring it out, brother. Bring it out. Go ahead. You got it.
No, I was just going to say I'm going to bring more of this out this Friday. I'm going to premiere an episode that typically comes on my show. I'm going to premiere it here Friday at 6 o'clock. Haplogroup E versus J. You know, who is Proto-Semitic? Shem. And it's going to lay all this information out that you should just read, because there's tons of papers, sources, references that deal with haplogroup E being Proto-Semitic, and every other haplogroup that isn't E basically adopted Semitic from E. I mean, There's a lot of information that covers. I'll let you.
Also, some of J was also placed there after the during the Assyrian captivity. They was placed there by the Assyrian king. You know, we have a study on that one as well with the Samaritans.
Right. These people are coming from outside the Levant into the Levant, absorbing the language, absorbing the cultures, and invading. It's no different than what we've seen with the Europeans coming into the Americas, taking over the Americas, reducing the population, and now majority of people speak PIE, Proto-Indo-European language. We speak English, we speak Spanish. You know, people over here don't speak Native Indian languages like that. It's not predominant. The predominant languages over here are PIE. Right?
Same thing with the Bantu expansion. Same thing.
Same exact thing. Same exact concept. So Lamont responded, did you like the ones the Arabs didn't paint in 2008? So I guess he's trying to say, oh, the other picture's not black. This is the type of stuff they do. Like I said, you guys have a problem with anybody that has melanin in their skin. Even in this picture you're showing, you can tell that this man has brown skin. I don't understand the argument here.
Plus, why would an Arab want to paint it? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like,
yeah,
where's the logic in that? Like, what?
Yeah, and that's another thing too. That statement, what is he talking about? Can that statement be verified? I don't know what he's talking about. These people always make up stuff on the fly. That's why they love social media, because There's no fact checking. There's no merit. All you can say anything on here and get away with it. But if you bring your ass on this link, we're gonna force you to show you where you're getting this from. And that's what they're afraid of. But even in this picture that you shared, this man has dark skin, dark brown skin. You could clearly see.
Definitely not a blue-eyed, blonde-haired German.
Oh man.
Are you sure that's not a Nordic from Sirius A?
But hold up.
Right.
You know what's crazy? The discussion I was having a discussion on stereo today, and we was talking about what happened to Whoopi Goldberg, right? And we were dealing with colorism. But what's crazy is how these Jews tried to make it seem like she wasn't speaking truth when she said that it wasn't a race issue, right? Because if it was a race issue, that means that Hitler wouldn't look like them. He would look different than them, right? But when you understand, they all Germans, right? They come from the same area. They come from the same place. They look just alike. That means that's just an in-home situation, man-on-man situation. It's not a race thing. The only way that would make it a race thing, according to their standards and the way that they look at race, is if Hitler himself was a black man like you and me. That would be the only thing to make that a race issue. Other than that, they just dealing with semantics and playing games with words and wanting us to believe into that and fall into that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Ain't they the ones that taught that it's the black race and the white race? And didn't y'all tell us Jews was in the white race?
Absolutely.
I'm confused. I'm confused.
Jews,
They
Egyptians, Berbers, North Africans, all Caucasians. Even sometimes Cushites, East Africans.
Come on, man. They were the ones who taught us this system. They got the black race, the white race. They used to say the red race for the Indians, and then the yellow race, and then the brown race for the Melanesians. So she technically, according to their system, she correct. It's not a race thing. They all a white race. They all fall into. I'm sorry, man. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, man. But yeah, man. Let's get back into this conversation, bro. These dudes are color struck. Then Avery said, "Who said anything about paint?" Then this brother came in. LeBron left. I don't know if this is not LeBron's burner account, or this is a separate person. This guy here.
That's LeBron.
Yeah.
So this is LeBron.
Yep.
So this is not the Michael guy.
That's not Michael.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just trying to...
LeBron got like 6 different accounts, man. He's a legit troll.
Wow.
That's a lot of energy.
Yeah, so basically I'm saying he doesn't really have a life. Okay.
Exactly. Then he said that's not Negro. I don't know what he means by DA here. This
I know what it means, but
dumbass. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But the only dumbass is this guy. Like, come on. He says this is note. He meant to say this is not the pronosticism. Look familiar. What? Okay. So then he put a picture here. I think this is an ancient African carving in Sierra Leone. I don't know anybody who looked like that, but that's the stone. That's the stone cut he put here. And I guess he's saying, "Oh, you got to find this in the Middle East." And this is what I'm talking about, man. Like this, you can't judge anything off. First of all, this is a stylistic type of cave carved drawing. I don't know anybody that looked like that. Can somebody show me somebody that looked just like that? I don't know nobody that looked like that.
Where's that supposed to come from, bro? Like who supposed to sculpt that?
He says Sierra Leone.
Oh, so African. So some Africans did.
Yeah. But here's another thing too, man. And we covered this on the channel so many times. A lot of our ancient ancestors probably didn't even have what you associate with prognosticism or sub-Saharan African traits or what you call Negroid. We probably didn't even have that. Because if we're arguing that we started in Levant, we can see what those type of people look like. And especially East Africa. We just use East Africa. East Africans don't look like that. a lot of them don't even have that prognosticism. Right?
Ramses the third with E1B1A. That's why I always use him as the best example.
Right. If you look at Ramses III, he does not have prognosticism. He doesn't have wide jaws, big lip. We don't like. Come on, man. So
like for real, nobody on the planet look like that. Like
yeah.
But okay, if that's supposed to be a sculpture of a real person, and we supposed to believe that, right? Like, all right.
Y'all can't tell me that don't look like Homeboy from the beginning of this video. Y'all can't tell me that's not his Dorito chip nose right there.
Yeah, that do look like old boy. Oh, let me go up. Let me go.
I was
up.
about to say that.
We'll go back real quick because you got to look at them lips, though, bro. You got to look at the lips on that sculpture. You can try and play games like, oh yeah, you got the wide nose and all that, but bro, look at that top lip. It's missing. The top lip is missing, bro. Man.
Where it went? Somebody find his lip.
Oh God, man, these people, boy, I tell you, these people crazy. All right, but anyway, DNA trumps all that. We got the migratory patterns, we got the oral testimony. We know that these chromosomes, our DNA, our ancestors was there. Then he says, "Tell me, what do 2, 4, 6, 8 have in common with you?" Prognosticism. What? I don't even. Oh my God! I already know what he's trying to say. I guess is he saying this picture has prognosticism?
Yeah, he's basically trying to say that we're Nubians, even though a couple of comments earlier he said that we're Bantus. So I don't really get the logic there. But yeah, he's basically trying to say that we're Nubians, where there were the black ones in the image, which I don't know how he knows. Like, has he tested the remains, or like has he?
Nubians would come from the first Nubians would come from pre-Kerma, which is haplogroup A. We not haplogroup A, we haplogroup E. So that you wrong. We not Nubians. And then, like right here, like you said, there's numbers here. I don't know if y'all can see this, but there's numbers here associated here, right? Number 1 says Jordan, so I guess from the left to right. The first one is supposed to be somebody from Jordan. Number 2 is a Southwest Bantu, according to this meme. According to this meme, there's a Southwest Bantu on here.
What's the meta nature of Bantu? I didn't know that Bantu was a meta nature word. So.
Right, exactly. It wasn't a damn Bantu word back then. Come on, man.
They would have said it's a Shemitic word, not even a Semitic, right? So I mean, I don't know. I'm not understanding.
Yeah, right. This dude is making shit up as he go, like always.
But prognosticism, right? It says prognostic state or condition. It's basically talking about cranial structure, fam. So let me continue. The quality of being prognostic, the condition of having a small facial or large craniofacial angle, projecting of the jaws, abnormal projection of the jaws. Yeah, that would be those that you would call Jews and those that you would call Asians. They really have that, like that real big old butt chin, that extruding like big old jawbone that look like it ain't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
That nose is definitely an acute angle.
That's not us at all, family. I don't know what this dude from. Oh man.
Yeah, a lot. And then he always attacking Black Americans. A lot of Black Americans don't have prognosticism like that. They don't. Anyway, we got somebody in the chat that's in the chat. This guy right here says Yoruba and Igbo Olmec, also known as haplogroup E Canaan. So if you want to join the conversation, and maybe we can find out where you're getting this information from, you can source up and let us know.
Yeah, Olmec is South American. That's a South American, Native American people. What?
We do this all the time. Invite these dudes up. They ain't coming up, man.
I know.
I would love you to come. Like
I had to put the invitation out there. He says, so are the Egyptians Canaanite pharaohs? What? So are Egyptian Canaanite pharaohs? You do know Canaan Damn, man.
Oh, I know
Ran?
what he's saying. I know what he's saying.
Yeah, he
He's
said,
basically
Oh,
saying
Ran.
he's
Yeah.
talking about
Egypt.
the Hyksos, basically the Hyksos people. Because he's saying,
So,
so you know, the Canaanites, you know, people in the Levant are pharaohs. Do you know that
but
Canaan ran Egypt at one point?
that wouldn't, the Hyksos wouldn't line up because they were in they Hyksos were considered to be allies with Egypt, right? So they were sending, when we were coming into the land, uh the Canaanites and the Hyksos rulers, or what so have you, they were sending report or letters back to Egypt looking for help because we was in there whooping butt and taking names. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's in the my God, it's just, I can't think of the stele right now,
Yeah, I
but I'm
know
gonna
what
look
you're
it
talking
up.
about. You're talking about the Tel or Marna letters, but that would be kind of a different time period. But I know what you're saying.
So you say that the Hyksos were Canaanites?
No, I think this person is saying that the Hyksos were Canaanites because the Hyksos, you know, they're a West Asian people who came from the Levant and slowly
Right.
took over Egypt, either through peaceful migration, but some people say forceful invasion. There's two different models, but yeah, I think that's what this guy's trying to say. But leave another comment, TNBR, so we can know what you're saying clearly.
it might be what's the name burner account, man. It might be LeBron's burner account.
Yeah, he just created a new one just to come over here and hang out and troll.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell he talking about. So we're gonna get back into this until he click that link. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna pay you no more, never mind, until you click that link, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's it. All right, so like I was saying right here, in this photo, he says Southwest Bantu. It's impossible for you to have a Southwest Bantu or the word Bantu here. The Egyptians don't know what the hell that is. And secondly, these groups, if they're Nubians, we're not Nubians. Nubians would most likely have haplogroup A, not E. It's that simple, man. So you just gonna have to drop that argument. This is silly. In other words, you're not gonna be able to take this image to no Egyptologist and tell him and make him say that these people are Bantu. Stop it. I was joking on that boy nose. I said that boy knows probably not to. And he asked him what specific African tribe, culture, and people also people made stone statues. Tell me the Egyptian words for each one of these ethnic groups. See, he couldn't tell you the Egyptian words for those ethnic groups. He just
He can
made
never
shit up.
do that. I
Yeah,
ask him that every time.
He just seen black people on there, and in his mind, all black people is one thing: Bantu. That's how you know someone's racist if they allow white people to be diverse and have diversity and have different groups and subgroups, but black people can't have diversity. They all have to be one thing. Then you know that person's racist. It says correct those. It literally says they adopted the language from haplogroup E. It's in the final sentence. Can you read? Yeah, so did we read that source? Yeah, we did read that source. Ancestral Semitic was
Yeah.
adopted by those bearing haplogroup 7 and haplogroup 8. You do know what adopted means, right? They didn't speak it originally, but who spoke Proto-Semitic first? Haplogroup V38, M35. That's E1B1A and E1B1B. And I said he couldn't read. I had to show him the adopt definition, but he said something prior to this, right? He must have deleted it. Didn't he say they didn't adopt it or
Well,
something
for
like
some reason, Facebook, the thread doesn't go in the exact order as everything, so it's kind of like jumbled
that?
together. But
Yeah,
I
because
don't
he
know.
made a comment pretty much
It
saying
might be
that
right there, Yashu. Right there. Is
nah,
it that? Is it that one?
he said it. I think he deleted it, bro, because it was right before that. He basically was saying
Yeah,
that
he
we were
did say he
lying.
deleted some of his comments, but I
Yeah,
don't know
he
what.
deleted it. He deleted it because he was on here saying that, oh, y'all lying. Y'all didn't have a proto-Semitic. That's basically what he said. And I was like, bro, the source he said clearly says that the haplogroups J and R and all the other stuff, they adopted Semitic from our people, from our ancestors. Haplogroup E1B1A and E1B1B. So he deleted them comments because he knew he was gonna make his ass look silly.
Wait. so he's saying that the Natufians are not Shemites. And then basically what he's saying is that the Shemites came from outer space to invade the Levant. Like, what is this clown talking about?
I don't know where he thinking they came from, but yeah, he was saying basically the Natufians were not Shemites.
It just
But
that
then
don't
he
make
turns
no
around
sense.
and always cousin Natufian DNA. And I'm like, if they're not Shemites, then why does it matter who has Natufian DNA? Always bring up himself, his cousin, and some random Ashkenazi girl. Like, why does it matter if you don't think it's just hypocritical? That's what it is.
Hypocritical, yeah, contradicting themselves. That's why you went back and deleted comments. You hurried up and deleted your shit because you didn't want to be made to look like a fool. But we remember what you said, bro. We remember. And then he said, "Go ahead, Sean."
No, I was saying, yeah, it's the same thing with the with all the conversations we have. They get so deep, you know what I'm saying, that they start to, it turns into, oh, well, you know, Jacob didn't exist, you know. But at the same time, you're defending Jay as being Shemitic or Israel, but then you discount Jacob, like Jacob did. So what are you talking about? It's ridiculous.
Man, it's so confusing, ain't it?
Yeah. If Jacob don't exist, Abraham don't exist, then what do we like? Who do you descend from then? You ain't no Jew. You's a made up ass, fake ass Jew then, because
Exactly.
you don't have a forefather.
Exactly. And why you defending it so hard? Like, for what? Because now that you're getting challenged on it, and then we busting you in the head with all of this information, you can't handle it no more. So you know what? Let's just blow everything up. Nothing exists, you know, and then come right back and give the argument again about Jay. It's ridiculous.
He says right here, prove it. Where's the written language? Now, Tufius didn't write. Now, nobody said there was a written language during this time. This is just some argument shit that he tried to throw out there. It's called straw man fallacy. He's going to beat the straw man up. He says, now, Tufius didn't write. By the way, they were already there when the Proto-Semites invaded the Levant. Who are these Proto-Semites that invaded the Levant? You know who he's trying to say are the Proto-Semites? Those motherfuckers that came from the Caucasus. That's who we trying to say is the Proto-Semite. They was not speaking. What language were they speaking?
You mean those Hurrians?
They were speaking Hurru,
but they can't.
which is a Northeast Caucasian language, not Dangestani.
But that don't fit because they came so many years after this, the Natufians. So how in the hell are those that came from the Caucasus these Semites?
Exactly.
That shit don't work.
It don't
The
make no
same way the
sense.
flood happened in 600 BC and it was a localized event and didn't happen all at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, that's what this Armenian
Right.
cat was
Like the
arguing
Grand
with me
Canyon.
about.
The Grand Canyon, you know, shows us that it was no flood over here in America. Right. Come on, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what that Armenoid cat was arguing me about. Like the flood was a local flood. Like, what are you talking about, man? I mean, man.
Even if it was a local flood, like, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it was a local flood. E markers were still there, so that doesn't even debunk us. E was still in the middle.
Hey, but later on he gonna say we don't believe in the book. We contradicting the book, but he going against the flood. So this whole statement about Proto-Semites coming from Canaan, I mean not Canaan, from the Caucasus, because that's what he mean, the Caucasus. We're gonna cut straight to the nitty gritty. I'm gonna ask Reggie, is that scholarship?
So is he violating the rules of scholarship?
Some would say it's not even scholarship.
Damn.
That's not even scholarship. We kept asking this brother, where are you getting this information from? What scholar is going to say that Semitic languages came from the Caucasus? What scholar going to tell you that Afro-Asiatic came from the Caucasus?
Absolutely zero.
Stop it, man. This dude goofy as hell. He says, by the way, they were already there when the Proto-Semites invaded the Levant. The same time written language began in Sumer. Then he finally gives a Wikipedia article that says the Gasulians abandoned all their settlements circa 3700 BC in an event called the Late Chalcolithic Break. This event marks the arrival of the Proto-Semites from the Syrian Levant. The Semitic languages split itself off from the Afro-Asiatic language in 3800 BC. So during this time, where's your genetic studies to back this up? Where's your genetic studies that proves who these people are?
And when it says right there that this event marks the arrival of Proto-Semites from the Syrian Levant, and then the Semitic language split itself. Oh, wait, hold on. The Semitic language split off from Afro-Asiatic in 3800 BC. It's talking about it splitting off in Africa, because the latest origin when it comes to Semitic languages, according to the Bayesian phylogenetic analysis, is that ancestral Semitic, pre-Proto-Semitic, came from Africa and entered into the Levant around 3750 BCE. So it's not that Semites are coming from the Caucasus or anything. It's Semites coming from Africa.
Right. Which have always been associated with Shem, because we even brought it. That's in our tradition. When you read Jubilees, it tells you that the land allotment of Shem stretched to westwards toward Afra, which is Africa. It tells you that. Then we have another tradition in Josephus that one of Abraham's sons was said to actually come in and invade North Africa, and that the name Africa comes from his son.
Ephra.
Right. So what is this dude talking about, man?
Also, even when it comes to Joktan's sons, when it comes to Joktan, the son of Eber, he had children named Sheba, like the famous Sheba in East Africa, and also Havilah. And these same names are also repeated as the descendants of Ham. So that even shows you that there was two Shemite, Hamite peoples living in Africa.
Exactly. Is that Havilah, the land of gold, right?
Mm-hmm. Havilah, Sheba, and Havilah. Yep. And Ophir.
Right. And I told languages exist before writing, because he was acting like that was our argument. And languages, Afro-Asiatic existed before anybody was able to write. And it did not come from haplogroup J. Afro-Asiatic does not come from haplogroup J. It comes from E. And he says the Bantu and Natufi didn't have a written language. DA, the Proto-Semites did and started in Sumer, where your DNA doesn't exist. And then
no paper to back that up, by the way.
You got one right now?
No, I said he has no paper to back that up, that Proto-Semitic started in Sumer. And by the way, the Sumerians were non-Semitic speakers. They spoke a language isolate.
Isolate, right. They didn't even speak an Afro-Asiatic language. It says, right, and I told him nothing that we can call writing, however, evolved from about 3000 BC. In other words, spoken language seems to have been around from at least 30 to 50,000 years before writing was invented. So language, our argument is talking about where the language came from. You bring up language writing, and we still get your ass whooped on that. But where the language came from is our people. There's no way around that. You would not have a language. You would not have Afro-Asiatic if it was not for our ancestors. And that goes back to this comment, are y'all stealing? No, you stole and took from us. What are you talking about? That came from us.
Bro, do you see this statement that's up under your last statement?
Where it says Bantu started with, you talking about this right here? Bantu started with Sumer, dumbass, and they weren't E1B1A. What?
The DNA shows us that the Bantu are E1B1A.
Yeah, they don't even make. I didn't even notice he said that dumbass shit.
Come on, man. What the hell is this? Man, stop.
The Bantu started with Sumer. This is why he got to be on here live so he can explain this shit. I can't explain it for him. This is some weird shit. You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't that help our argument by saying wait, what?
Right.
It's some bullshit.
He pulling all this straight out his ass.
I know.
Or out of his friend's nose.
It's definitely room.
And he says, I guess Sumer was slapped full of HIJKRT. And then my brother,
Yep, a bunch of non-Semitic people.
a bunch of non-Semitic people. You know, we know where Jay come from. We'll talk about. You want to take that trip to Georgia? We can take that trip to Georgia real quick.
Georgia.
He's still replying to this thread. Why would you jump on your ass?
Me and Shari.
Oh yeah, he's still trying me, but that's okay. I'm making him run back to his cave soon enough. Don't worry about it.
He need to join the link. He need to jump on and explain these comments.
Man, Charmin Ultra Soft ain't getting up here. We know that.
It says Natufians are anthropologically descendants of Semites. And then he quotes the Hot Pursuit of Language and History. Prehistory, it says that this paper makes an additional inference since there is archaeological and physical and anthropological reason to believe that the Natufians were related to modern Semitic speaking peoples of the Levant. You know which one you should have did? I don't know if you did it, bro.
I did 2 different ones about the Natufians.
You did? Yeah, let me get that one, bro. That was powerful, bro.
And I only brought this up because he claimed that Natufians were not the ancestors of Semites. I don't know if like he was deleting some comments, so I don't know if you covered.
Yeah. I'm looking through the thread. I'm like, bro, he was saying so much stuff, and it's gone now. He was like, oh, I don't want to be on record.
Right.
Yeah, it's better if we start screenshotting this stuff. It's better if we start screenshotting this stuff instead of pulling it live.
I took some screenshots of the very end of it. Like I took screenshots where I told him to come onto the live, so he can never like act like we didn't offer him to come.
Next time, I ain't gonna tell him shit. I'm just gonna go live. Then after I'm done going through all his comments, then I'm gonna tell him come on, so he can't go back and delete stuff. But he also put this out here on the Hot Pursuit.
Well, actually, if you want to shoot, I just now remembered he had debates with Elkham in the past. So if you go through some of those other comment sections that he had with Elkham, you might be able to find some of the stuff.
He just heard you say that. Now he gonna run in those conversations. He gonna run in that conversation and start deleting.
I mean, but that's cool because that's all right, because what it does is it shows everybody on Facebook, because he's pulling it off live. We doing this live. He's pulling it off live, and he's already made these statements, and people have been seeing him make these statements, so they're gonna know he's full of shit.
Yeah, true. Yep.
Avery also posted this. The presence of Semitic in the Near East might be explained as follows. Early pre-Proto-Semitic speakers would have migrated into Syro-Palestine before the Neolithic, being taken there by M35 bearers, specifically M35/78, and adopted by populations bearing M89 lineages. Again, E markers brings in the Proto-Semitic, and the FM89 lineages like haplogroup J adopted that language from the E markers. It starts with our people, our ancestors, not yours.
Also, keep in mind that part where it says that early pre-Proto-Semitic speakers would have migrated into Syro-Palestine, and you all remember what he said earlier about.
Your mic went low, brother. Your mic is low.
Oh, my mic is low. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So where it says early pre-Proto-Semitic speakers would have migrated into Syro-Palestine, that's what I mean by that they migrated into the Levant from Africa. And he mentioned earlier how Semites migrated into the Levant. He said it was Sumer, which is incorrect. At the top, it says the overall pattern is not underlined, but it says the overall pattern is consistent with the model of the first speakers of Afro-Asiatic having emerged in or near the Horn of Africa or the Nile Valley. And then it talks about how they would have went to the Levant from Africa. So
right. So it didn't start no damn Sumer. Like he pulled out his ass.
Semites are literally Africans. It's just hilarious.
But and I respond, I said, he don't know Yap. See, this is why I wish he didn't delete his comment, because this will all make sense. They said he don't know Yap has been up and down the Levant Belt Cave in Iran 12 to 8,000 years ago. We do find E1B1A there in Iran, right? Golden Cave, BMAC E1B1A, and E1B1B specimen north of Afghanistan. We find E1B1A there. E1B1A in Mesolithic France, and we find it in Corsica. So for this guy to try to paint this narrative, bro, we've been up and down. That was our stomping ground, the Levantine corridor. We've been there. You guys are Johnny come latelys. You guys just got there in the Copper Age. We was there in the Stone Age. You understand? Y'all just came in, seen us that we was popping, that we had the right culture, and y'all took and adopted what we had already going, man. That's the facts. It's clear these yacht markers traveled together. All of the empirical data points that out quite vividly. And he says about the proto-Semites that the E markers. He said, nope, they were in the Levant 6,000 years before the proto-Semites invaded the Levant. So this dude does not listen to what he's saying. The E markers themselves are the proto-Semites. Dumb. The EM35 markers, the EV38 markers, these people would be the proto-Semites. No matter how you slice it, that's what the anthropological and linguistic evidence is showing us, tied in with genetics. There's no way around this. Then he quotes that same bullshit again, which doesn't help his argument. And then Avery says, you must not read actual papers. And then he hits him with another source. This is from the Bayesian phylogenetic analysis of Semitic languages identified in early Bronze Age origin of Semitic in the Near East. It states, we use the Bayesian phylogenetic methods to elucidate the relationships and divergent dates of Semitic languages, which we then related to the epigraphic and archaeological records to produce a comprehensive hypothesis of Semitic origins and dispersals after the divergence of ancestral Semitic from Afro-Asiatic in Africa.
In Africa.
Not Sumer, right? In Africa. We estimate that Semitic had an early Bronze Age origin about 5,750 years before present in the Levant, followed by the expansion of Akkadian into Mesopotamia. And as the other source related, these would have been E markers, not J markers. I believe 6,000 years ago, those J markers would have been somewhere in the Caucasus speaking whatever language that they had. Can you remind the people what language group those people are familiar with, Avery, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so the language of the early J markers was a Caucasian language. They spoke a Nak Dangestani language, which is a Northeast Caucasian language. Now, the sub branch of that language is Hurrian and Urartu, but you can connect the two and call it Huru Uratrian. I'm actually going to cover this very soon in my J videos. But that's basically what these people would have been speaking, a Huru Uratrian language, which is a non-Semitic language, and it's considered part of the whole language, the whole Caucasian language as a whole. By the way, just to make a caveat, Caucasian is not Indo-European. I know we kind of say that here in the West, that we call white people Caucasians. It's actually not true. Caucasians are a specific ethnic group in the Near East. That will be your Georgians, your Armenians, your Chechens, your English, your Azerbaijanis, people like that. So that's the type of people these early J markers would have been. And we actually do find the highest amounts and diversity of haplogroup J in specific Caucasian ethnic groups like the English and the Chechens and Nak Dangestani speakers. But that's what I mean right there.
Yeah, man. In short, those are Europeoid Japhites. You know what I'm saying? These are not Shemites. But as you can clearly see, the brother brought out sources to relate it. The E markers would be the ones with the Afro-Asiatic, bringing in Afro-Asiatic and Proto-Semitic. And these J markers and other FMAD line lineages actually absorbed and adopted the culture. So did he delete this comment here? No, we read that. So right here, I took a photo of it where he said, nope, they were in the Levant 6,000 years before Proto-Semites invaded the Levant. The Natufians were already there, 10,000 BCE. Period of Tanakh, Adam is 6,000 years old. I disagree. The Tanakh doesn't say that. You have to infer that. It says funny writing language began in Sumer 5,800 years ago. I don't understand his argument there. Maybe you want to speak towards that, Ivri, because I don't understand what he's trying to say here.
Funny writing language. Wait, funny writing language. That is kind of weird. Okay, funny writing language in Sumer 5,000. Bro, where is
Avery
this?
has to. Avery has to. He has to. Avery has to translate Indo-European language. Right there.
Yeah, I don't. What's his point here? Again, Afro-Asiatic.
Where's the source? This is what I want to know.
I don't know what the. Yeah, he ain't got a source for this. I don't know his point on this. Afro-Asiatic existed before writing languages. Afro-Asiatic comes from haplogroup E. In the discussion, let us talk about it.
Yeah, it doesn't even
you speculate and making shit up as you go, like you always do. It's not going to help your case.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if, like, let's just hypothetically say that writing languages appeared in Sumer. So that doesn't matter. Just because you're writing a language doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden a Semite or something. Like, it doesn't even make sense. That doesn't mean it's Afro-Asiatic just because you have writing first.
Exactly. Elcom says his source is Microsoft Word in his imagination. Exactly. You're just making stuff up, man. It's fictive. So his next statement was the Hebrew Israel. He says, period of global ancient DNA maps from 10,000 BC to 70 AD. You can't find one E1 B1A during the prime time of 2000 BCE to 70 AD. Nothing but HIJKRT being found. And for some reason, he thinks this is a point. But here's the thing. You guys infer that E1B1A was always in sub-Saharan Africa. Can you find me one E1B1A marker in Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa, 10,000 years ago? You can't. But you'll get on here and say that we're sub-Saharan African. You'll make that claim that that's where our origin is. But you can't find that DNA. And furthermore, in the beginning of this video, we showed you that the Bantus had Levantine-like ancestry, meaning they have to come from the Levant. We showed you that all 8 diverse Jewish groups have sub-Saharan African DNA, and that the original Israelite population would have already been admixed with Africans, showing that our DNA would be there. And then my brother, go ahead. Whoever's speaking, go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna make this real quick, but you're right. And also, just because what we have to remember is this: the ancient Near East is extremely diverse. So yes, we do have J and R and T and all these other haplogroups in the Levant. That doesn't mean it's automatically Semitic, as we've gone over and over again in this video. Semitic comes from haplogroup E. All these other haplogroups are just other ethnic groups living in the ancient Near East. The ancient Near East was diverse, and that's what I try to stress in my videos, is that there was all types of people living back then in that land. There was Indo-Europeans there. There was Caucasians there. And I feel like we have to stress this to the community, because we can use this as an argument to show that, all right, so I agree. There's J there, there's T there, there's R there, but those aren't Semites. Those are other ethnic groups like Hittites, Mitanni, Kassites, and Hurrians, etc. We have to show people that there was Indo-Europeans there. The Middle East wasn't just Semitic speaking peoples. It wasn't just Semites in the Middle East for thousands of years. There have always been other ethnic groups living there. But I yield there.
Right. And again, I have to stress again, these other groups are Johnny come latelys who are already there. People that had the language who are already there. The E markers, yeah, markers are already there. They can't get around that. All right, so we addressed that. He said Proto-Semites invaded the Levant and waiting on resources. Semitic is a branch of Afro-Asiatic. The people who brought forth Afro-Asiatic are the ancient bearers of EP2. And you can't get around it. That's just the fact of the matter of the fact. I said at this point, he's making shit up. Exactly. And here we go. This is how we knew exactly early. He's trying to say that the Jews come from ultimately they come from the Caucasus Mountains, because he says this right here. You must not know Mount Ararat is in the Caucasus Mountains. So now this is what they're saying. oh, the Abraham comes from the Caucasus, the Jews come from the Caucasus, and they're not. Now they're extending their argument and saying that Ham, Shem, and Japheth are all from the Caucasus. That's their new argument.
Yeah, they changed the narrative.
Right, that's all over my
They
YouTube
shift the
channel.
narrative.
Oh man.
I wish I had a screenshot of this conversation. I'm just going to bring it up because I don't have the screenshot. But the brother was saying that the ancient kingdom of Cush was actually J, haplogroup J.
Oh yeah, that's in my comments. We'll actually cover that another time.
Yeah. This guy's an idiot. So then I responded with this source here. The Proto-Afro-Asiatic group carrying the EP2 mutation may have appeared at this point and in time subsequently gave rise to the different major populations, including current speakers of the Afro-Asiatic languages and pastoralist populations. The Proto-Afro-Asiatic group carrying the EP2 mutation. It don't say haplogroup J here. It don't say JP58. It don't say JM172. It says EP2. Y'all just gonna have to bow down and kiss the motherfucking ring at this point. At this point, man, that's it. And then he responds to Ivri, says, tell me how Proto-Semites who descended from Mount Ararat came from Africa. First of all, you just made that shit up. That's just something that came out your damn mouth. Proto-Semites do not come from Mount Ararat. They do not come from the Caucasus. You cannot give us one article, one legitimate article that states, that gives genetic evidence, anthropology, showing you that Proto-Semites come from the damn Caucasus. Stop playing, man. And Ivri responds, HIJKRT are nothing but non-Semitic people. The early Semites had haplogroup E. Then he hits them with another source. You see that we're constantly coming with sources and material to refer to. With him, it's mostly just him saying shit. You know, it's rhetoric. In this source, How Eurasia Was Born, it states the most plausible candidates for Semitic remigration to the Fertile Crescent was the most recent common ancestors fitting the arrival of the Akkadians, and other early Semitic peoples are certain subclades of both EV22 and EV12 with relatively early TMRCAs present in the Middle East, could be the candidates for such remigration, such as EFGC 1432 and EV 3262. So we can clearly see when we're dealing with the Akkadians, the candidates for the ancient Akkadians would have to be E markers. And why this is important, we're going to bring this up because he brought up the Semitic writings, but the earliest Semitic writings we have is Akkadian. And within the Akkadian, these people would have had E markers. So let me see if we got that here.
And by the way, it's actually believed that the ancient Assyrians and Babylonians descend from the Akkadians. And we know that according to the scriptures, Ashur was one of the sons of Shem. And from Ashur came the Assyrians. So Akkadians might actually be like an ancient ancestor of the Assyrian peoples, aka a descendant of Shem.
Exactly. And when you look at the early Semitic writings, I thought I posted it here. Maybe I'll find it as I stroll down. The earliest Semitic writing is Akkadian. Ivri also posted this here, a conversation with Christopher Eret. Christopher Eret, UCLA, interviewed by WAC co-editor Tom Lacasse. It says, what I see here is that early Middle Eastern polytheism is influencing Semitic religion. After all, the early Semites were just a few Africans arriving to find a lot of other people already in the area.
Wait. So they're not Caucasians?
No, they don't come from Mount Ararat. It doesn't say Caucasian here. It doesn't say Armenoid here. It doesn't say any of that. It says Africans.
Pseudo BHI website.
Hey, man, listen. They can say what they want to say. The pseudos is this WHI guy that we're dealing with. We don't even know his haplogroup. He won't tell us because he's probably an R or something. He's probably not even J. He's probably like R.
Or
You know what
or
I'm
like
saying?
G or something.
Or G. Yeah, he's probably like G or something. Bro, you're not even in the conversation. Sit down.
But you know what's crazy is they try and make a claim like oh well, you know all of these different haplogroups were in the Levant. Well, they should be in the Levant, and you know why? Because that's the cradle of civilization. That's where everything starts, from cities to agriculture to all these other different things that we use today. So where that is thriving, you're going to see people there that don't look like other people. Like, understanding is very key, but it seems like these people don't have it. They lack it. They lack comprehension.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Actually, it's just emotionalism. Like the whole paradigm shift for them is just it just can't be. And if it can't be, then you know what? We'll destroy. We'll knock the Lego set over and kick all the Lego pieces around and say that it just what? Nobody plays with it.
Yeah. If I can't play, nobody play. That's exactly.
Then they have their archaeologists like Israel Finkelstein say that King Solomon never built the temple, but that's supposed to be his people. Huh? What? Like, what are y'all talking about, bro?
Wait.
What are y'all talking about?
If Finkelstein correct, they not Jews. They just a bunch of random Canaanites that got together in the 15th century that had a revolt. If they want to follow Finkelstein, they not Jews.
I'm just saying, Joshua, man, the contradictions is just unreal, bro. When you start unraveling they BS, man, you start seeing all type of just weird stuff, bro. Like, man.
Yeah, I'm seeing some weird stuff in the comments, man. This brother right here, bro. Join the live. Why is you doing this keyboard warrior?
Yeah, that might be Laban, actually.
I don't know, because he said there's 19 letters in the alphabet, A through S. There's 19 haplogroups. Ham and his 4 sons, Japheth and his 7 sons, and Shem and his 5 sons. So I don't know, because I think they try to call everybody.
Wait. Yeshua. Remember that you pulled up earlier what they had I don't know, was that Jews for Jesus? Which one was it? The European guys who were saying that they were
that website.
Israel, and they ran down and you posted it. You posted it in Telegram.
Creation Wiki, yeah.
And had all the different haplogroups, all the different nomenclatures with different. They just separated each one of the haplogroups and just put a name next to it. It seemed like, and that's who each person was. You remember what I'm talking about? Don't you have it?
Yeah, I do.
Pull it up. I think that's what he talking about.
Why
is
fallen? I don't get that. Like, Thomas Jefferson is fallen now? He's a fallen angel or something?
Yeah, you're a fallen angel, bro. East Africans is fallen angel. You got some Somalis. Yeah. They fallen. Hey, bro, this dude said A through E is Ham. So A, B, C, because you said A through E. So C, D, and E are all Ham. Okay, the Japanese are Ham. The early Europeans are Ham. You said who?
The Mongolians, because
the Mongolians.
Genghis Khan.
Eskimos. The Eskimos are Ham.
TNVR. We're going to need you to source up on this one right here. All right. We're going to need you to post that source where you got this right here, right there in the little chat where you just posted this BS. Go on and post the source so we can pull it up.
Yeshub has it already. Yeshub, pull that up. You know what I'm talking about. I think that's exactly what he's doing.
I know what you're talking about, but it's a little different what he's saying. I want to kind of break down what he's saying.
Okay. Well, that's what it looked like to me.
So TNBR, bro. So the Eskimos are Ham because they got C. A lot of them got C. A lot of old Paleo Native Indians got C. So they Ham. think some Siberians got C. Japanese is ham. They got D.
Wait. T is the fallen, yo. This the dude that we talked to before. Remember? That told us T was the fallen angels
He
that
was
I was
on here
going back and
before.
forth with. Not in Facebook.
Oh
No, it
man,
was
what's
on
his
one of your
name?
lives. It was on one of your lives.
It might have been, but he need to come on, man. Come on with it. Hey, TNV, bro, come on the live, bro. I'm not gonna keep entertaining you till you come on here and speak like a man, bro. We want to hear your voice. You know what I'm saying? Then we got questions for you because you come with these claims. I want to see this broke. I want you to break this down right now. I want a presentation right now. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Yo,
bro,
T is from
we supposed to
Syria.
just be believing what they say, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Haplogroup T is from Sirius B, bro. They're the fallen.
Exactly. Bro, make this make sense for me, man. He said, "This is my first time, bro. This is a fake ass channel, bro. This is a fake ass page, bro. You've been on here before, probably got blocked, and this is your way coming
You
back
ain't
in
gotta
here."
be from Facebook, man. You on YouTube right now, right? That's what your avatar state that you commenting from. So we ain't worried about you being from Facebook. Bring your silly self up here, man, and support what you standing on, right? Like bring some sources, right, to support you. That's all.
Bro,
We here to
Yeah,
learn
you
something
got to
from
call him. You got to call him right though, Yashar. He ain't silly. He goofy.
you. Yeah, my bad. You're absolutely right. Goof truth.
This dude said, "LOL, rain check my daughter's sleep and go to the other room."
Silly man.
Like, go to the
Yeah,
other
like
room.
why are you in your daughter's room texting and typing on the computer? Like, go to a different room.
What you live in a studio?
Don't no real parents say that because everybody know when their kids sleep, they out of there. I don't want to hear that.
Absolutely.
He must
Right,
live in a
right.
studio. He live in a studio.
Well, you know, she sleep right here, and I need to make sure that she stays asleep. So I got to sit right here, right next to her. Knock it off.
Man, just jump on the thing, man. Why everybody had these? I remember Abu. I asked Abu to come on here and come live. He be like, I gotta eat. I gotta eat dinner with my family. Like,
You know why? Because if they come up there, they're gonna get slain. They don't see people get taken apart on this platform, yo. They don't want no parts of that.
Hebrew
drive
Israelism
awful.
too. He needs to come up.
yeah, Hebrew Israelism. Like, I'm not responding to any of your comments on my channel. You need to just come on the channel and voice your opinion like a man. Then we'll respect you. But you won't even do that.
Right. We got a
Why would
whole
I?
lot.
Hold on. He says, I'm telling y'all the truth, but y'all joking. You can research it and let's see if it's scholar.
Nah.
It's not my job to prove your fucking point.
Right.
Come
We're
on,
not going to
bro.
Google
Let's
it
give
and
it
look
one
through all of
source.
the Google options and choose one. Like, you know, let me close my eyes and choose one when you ain't giving us nothing. So come up here and teach us. This is what y'all like to do, right? Y'all like to tell us shit that we supposed to believe. Nah. So now you have an opportunity to actually come up here and tell us some things based off your sources.
And we're
Why
not
you not
going.
jumping on instead of
And we're
trolling?
not. And we're not going to the History Channel to pull up episode 6 from season 5 and find the Sirius B where the fallen is haplogroup T.
Ain't
Go ahead
the
with
alien.
that.
Right.
Just give us
You're
one
not about to
source
listen
though.
to
Just
a
one.
YouTube show that's 30 minutes long when you can show us the information in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, man. The burden of proof is on the person making a claim. You made the claim. Get your loud and wrong behind up here and explain it.
Right.
He got that from Ancient Aliens, yeah. He got it from the History Channel.
Oh, man. Right here. There's some spooky stuff, bro. I'm trying to get him to do it. Like, where is you getting this from, man? It's like pulling. He's not even telling us where the source is. What, like, no reference, no nothing. Then he say, go to the university, look up the DNA articles on the people. You can't.
We
use
just
it.
read DNA articles.
We read DNA article after DNA article. It don't say none of that bullshit you talking about.
Nah, we're not taking your directions at all, but we will listen to what you have to say, right? We will read what you
Oh
have to
my God.
present.
You got time
Ethiopians
to
are
type all
mostly
these
armed.
characters, but you can't click a link. I don't understand.
You gonna wake your daughter up clicking and clacking on that keyboard like that?
Yo,
I
I
know
know
you
this
talking
dude.
to yourself over there. I
I
know
know
you
this
talking to us,
dude.
but we not responding because we don't hear you. But you talking to us though. I know you talking to us.
I know this dude because this is the same dude he put when we was going back and forth. This is the same thing he was saying. I don't know if it was on Avery's live or if it was here. It definitely wasn't Facebook. I think it was one of Avery's live. This dude, I know exactly. This dude is the same dude I dealt with, and he's still with this nonsense. Man, if you don't go somewhere with your goofy ass.
Thought you can get over on the slick one, huh? You thought you was being slick around here, man. We pay attention, we observers. So if you like we have to understand how people talk, right? We have to understand how our ancestors relayed information. This is how we can understand that it came from them, right? Because they have a certain particular way of relaying the information, writing styles, and so forth and so on. So when you try and change up your avatar, but you still using the same lingo, we know who you are, clown.
Exactly. Exactly. But it made a whole new page. Hold on. Look at the comment. He said Ethiopians are mostly haplogroup R. Bro, that's how I know you ain't did no research, bro.
No, look at what he said about him being R1 plus Yap, bro.
Huh?
Okay,
Yo,
he's special ed. We
I'm
good.
R1B
No disrespect. No
positive
disrespect to
Yap
anybody in
Bantu.
special ed, but we can't deal with that. I don't know where he coming from with that
Just
one.
real
Yeah,
quick.
that's a troll account. I think that's just a troll. He's diverting us from the original topic that we had. Yes.
Right. I'm gonna just address this one point because it's so easy to respond to. Then we're gonna move on from him until he clicked that link. So if you just go to Ethiopians on Wiki and go down to genetic studies, and then click paternal lineages, 57.5% haplogroup E.
Where's the R? I'm trying to find that.
What is he talking about?
Damn.
All right, he's dismissed.
Hey,
He's
you
dismissed.
gotta
Let's
drop the
move
bomb
on.
on that one, bro. You gotta drop the bomb on that one, bro.
He's dismissed. Let's move on. That's it. We just killed him.
I got another one. I got
You
to
got one
drop
more?
on.
All right.
I just got another one I got to drop on. He said drop the bomb. I got something that's more, appropriate for him. Let me get that post where he said, I'm sorry, y'all. This shit funny. This shit's some crazy shit, bro. A through E is Ham, F through M is Japhet, N through S is Shem. I think I know who you is, man, but this is some spooky shit right here. I'm done.
No, you over here choking, bro. I swear, bro.
That boy came in. He said, we wicked as fuck.
Based on what? What's your moral code?
Because we don't agree with him.
Yeah, man. Y'all won't go look through 100, Google options to look for this information, man. So yeah, y'all wicked as hell.
Yeah, come on. Let's dismiss this dude and finish up. I gotta get up in the morning.
Yeah, my bad, bro. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Oh man, let me get back to this Facebook post, man. I know my brother gotta get up early. All right, so back in this conversation, man. We just had a long commercial break. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, Avery was just putting the beats on Laban here, showing and proving that the Semites would have been African and have the group E, and the language would have came through them. But he says your pseudoscience is in conflict with the Tanakh as usual. But like I said, ask these brothers, do they believe in the flood, which is clearly in the Tanakh. The flood is in the Bible. Ask these brothers, do they believe it? Matter of fact, let me pull it up. Let me pull up Genesis 9. Ask these brothers if they believe it. They're gonna tell you that was fake, made up. But we the ones contradicting the Bible. We the ones in conflict with the Tanakh. Man, give me a goddamn.
Hold on, Yashu. This is what they also tell you now. I don't know if this individual told you or would tell you the truth, but I heard one of their elders say this out of his own mouth and was proud about it. They come from the line of Canaan, who killed Abel. Yeah, he was very excited and very proud to uplift Canaan and his murderous actions, murderous ways. Tell you in a minute that he's a descendant of Cain. How about that?
Hey, they tell us that we pre-Adamites and shit. I'm trying to find that in the Bible.
I was about to say the same thing. The pre-Adamite, pre-Adamite doctrine.
Watch this, y'all.
Super racist doctrine got people literally like killed. You know? Mormons and stuff.
If y'all run into this brother on Facebook, ask him this one question. Since we in conflict with the Tanakh here, we don't believe in the Tanakh. What does this say here? Genesis 9 verse 1 says, "Then God blessed Noah and his sons and told them, be fruitful and fill the earth." It didn't say fill the Caucasus Mountains. It didn't say fill Mount Ararat. It didn't say that.
Wait, shoot, doesn't the Bible says, oh my bad.
No, you gotta go.
Doesn't the Bible says that the Most High destroyed all flesh on the earth and that only 8 lives were saved in the flood, both in the New Testament and the Old Testament? Didn't it say that?
Yeah. I don't know why the 3 sons of Noah need to fill the earth if still people there.
8 souls. 8 souls. That's what I heard. 8 souls.
8 souls. That's it. But we in conflict with the Tanakh, y'all. And we the ones that's in conflict with it. Like, come on, bro. Stop it. And why would they have to get all the animals of the earth if it's a local? Come on, man. This shit don't make no damn sense.
Why couldn't Noah just leave if it's a local flood? Could have just, walked over to the part where it wasn't raining.
Yeah, why is this local flood not in the Bible that you keep denying and then saying we don't believe in the Tanakh? It look like we believe in the Tanakh and you don't. Come on, man. Let me go now. I'm gonna get straight to the point.
And also, this is the last thing, but didn't it say that after the flood, that the Most High put a rainbow in the sky, which would symbolize he would never flood the whole earth again because there's always floods.
Yeah, the next time he deal with the whole earth, it'll be by fire.
Yep. It's Isaiah 24. Yep.
No, that's gonna be local too. Only America gonna burn with the Bantus in it.
Why does Jesus
be in sub-Saharan Africa?
They probably do teach some shit like that, racist. But right here, telling me, just ask them this. Why in Genesis 9 verse 6, if anyone takes a human life, that person's life will also be taken by human hands. For God made human beings in his own image. Now be fruitful and multiply and repopulate the earth. Why would they have to repopulate the earth if it was a local flood and the flood is fake and it didn't happen? Well, why would they have to do this? Why would God tell them this? Since we're going against the Bible, we're going against the Tanakh. Explain this. The only way you can explain this chapter is if an actual global flood took place. It says here, and God told Noah and his son, I hereby confirm my covenant with you and your descendants and with all the animals that were on the boat with you, the birds, livestock, and all the wild animals, every living creature on earth. That's what it says here. So I'm confused. No, the problem is you're in conflict with the narrative. We're not. The way we teach it is in complete harmony with the narrative. Because we teach it as if a flood happened, destroyed all of the other humans, and Noah's 3 sons had to repopulate. So all haplogroups that are surviving today come from Noah's 3 sons. Because we believe in the Tanakh. and we harmonize what we find with the Tanakh. You do not do this. Nowhere in the Tanakh does it say Abraham came from the Caucasus. It doesn't say that. That's some shit you made up.
This video is going to go so well with my response video because I'm starting to see people speak like this a lot. Like a lot of people are just saying, oh, Noah and his sons are from the Caucasus and black people really aren't descendants of Noah. I'm seeing this everywhere now. Once we started proving that he was Semitic, you know.
Didn't G-Con say that too?
G-Con did say that.
Yeah, and he's a black man himself. So it's like, are you saying that you're not human or something?
Changing the biblical narrative.
Yeah, but we the ones that don't believe in the Bible. We, they say I'm Satan. I don't believe the Bible. I'm drawing people away from it. But they making all these claims against the Bible. Watch what the next verse says. Yes,
you're Satan because you got a potty mouth.
I got a potty. I'm Satan. I got a potty mouth. You're right. But watch it. Verse 11 says, verse 11 says, yes, I am confirming my covenant with you. Never again will flood waters kill all living creatures. Never again will a flood destroy the earth. The flood that's in the narrative is a global flood, bro. There's no way around it. So who's really in conflict with the scriptures? Come on, man. Stop playing. And this is what you were talking about, verse 12. I am giving you a sign of my covenant with you when all living creatures for all generations to come. I have placed my rainbow in the clouds. It is a sign of my covenant with you and with all the earth. With all of the earth. Why? Because the flood waters came and destroyed all living creatures. The only people that survived was on the ark.
Unless they're saying that the Most High lied, because last I checked, wasn't Katrina a pretty bad flood?
Yeah. Yeah, they think something like Hurricane Katrina happened in the Middle East. But again, these guys are saying that we're in conflict with the narrative. It says, when I see the rainbow clouds, I will remember. Excuse me, verse 15 says, and I will remember my covenant with you and with all living creatures. Never again will the flood waters destroy all life. When I see the rainbow in the clouds, I will remember the eternal covenant between God and every living creature on earth. Then God said to Noah, yes, the rainbow is a sign of the covenant I am confirming with all the creatures on earth. Why? Because the flood affected all living life on earth. Then we get to Noah's sons. It reaffirms this when it says the sons of Noah who came out of the boat with their father were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. From these three sons of Noah came all the people who now populate the earth.
Well, not some of the people in the Middle East?
All the people who now populate the earth. All.
No, that's some BHI.
No, that ain't what that say there. That ain't what that say. That ain't what that say there. You read that wrong. That says some.
What G-Con say? They don't be reading it right. Wait, hold on. Oh, this is what you were talking about earlier. R1B plus yeah. All right, I just had.
No, that's not it.
No, I don't know who they talking about.
Jerome Walker.
All right, let me go back to this, man. I'm sorry, Shud. The brother said that we are the ones in conflict and we're posting information in conflict with the narrative when these guys deny the narrative over and over again. Matter of fact, go to your Tanakh scrolls and take Genesis 9 out of there because you obviously don't believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back.
They can have our old slave Bible.
Yeah, the slave Bible.
Yeah, they can have our old slave Bible with everything pulled out of it.
Yeah.
They like our hand-me-downs anyway.
Exactly. And then I responded, this proves the Akkadians would have had E. And again, Akkadians would have those would have been Shemites, right? So the earliest attestation of Semitic language are in Akkadian, dating around the 24th to 23rd centuries BCE. See Sargon of Akkad and the Eblite language, which we do have an E marker Ebla too as well, Avery, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we do. It dates back to the 4th 4000 BCE. So it's technically like an early Bronze Age sample, late Chalcolithic, early Bronze Age in Ebla. Yep, which is a Semitic city. Yep.
So all these Shemite territories, we find the E markers in it before we even see FM89 lineage, is correct?
Mm-hmm. And Ebla is in Syria, just so y'all can have like a visualization.
All right. I also say the EP2 mutation may have appeared at this point, and I pretty much recapitulated and repeated what I stated earlier about Afroasiatic coming through the EP2, which is E1B1, which is the father, E1B1A and E1B1B. Those are our ancestors, not his. But then again, I don't even know his DNA. You need to show us his DNA, but I'm assuming you're FM89. Avery responds, "You're pseudo. I post the source, but you post nothing, and that's okay. I'll teach you." Get in your bag, Avery.
Get a little bit, you know.
Yeah, get in your bag. Talk to him. It's everything I say has the title and author, so everyone can see where my information is coming from. You just hurt and a liar. So here's another one for you about the Natufians, and I'm glad he put this one here because there's an actual map attached. As y'all can see to the right before I read this. This is the area of Natufian confluence. So what they do is when we bring up Natufians, they try to just slam them in. They only think of the land of Israel. They try to argue from that standpoint. But this is how big. Look at that radius. And as the archaeologists would explain it, it's from the Negev, which is right below Israel, all the way up to Syria. That's where we find Natufian culture.
And they even traveled into Anatolia.
Yeah. And these people had E marker. These are Yap. These would be your Shemites. So he adds here by Jeffrey C., a writer and historian, says there is no meaning to saying that E or E1B1B is an African haplogroup. Haplogroups don't have continental markers attached, especially when they originated near continental boundaries. E1B1B originated in Ethiopia roughly 50,000 years ago, but it crossed into the Arabian Peninsula about 22,000 years ago, and then became the dominant haplogroup of Proto-Semitic and Semitic peoples in Western Asia. Became the dominant haplogroup of Proto-Semitic and Semitic peoples in Western Asia. So again, the Proto-Semites would have haplogroup E. Just reaffirming. I can't do both. I can't read in DJ at the same time. But definitely that deserved a bomb. You know what I'm saying? It says it was the dominant haplogroup of Natufian culture of the Levant in Asia. With the Jewish diaspora starting around 1900 years ago, E1B1 was carried to multiple parts of Europe and Asia. The total number of carriers in Europe and Asia exceeds the number of carriers in Africa by far, making it more of a Eurasian haplogroup if any geographical label applies. So let's see how this dilettante responds, because we've pretty much been bludgeoning him with sources over and over again. We're just showing you how these guys act on Facebook. And what I say, he has zero data. He's making shit up as he goes. None of his claims are backed with empirical data. But when you look at our claims, the contrast is like night and day. Look at how we're arguing and look at how he's arguing. He's throwing memes. He used a wiki paragraph out of context, calling us Bantu, and that's pretty much his argument. There's nothing else. There's no substance. He's not verifying anything. He's not giving us empirical data. No research, nothing. Oh, boy. Joshua Benjamin says, Jews have always been white since circumcision was never part of Black history. Are you serious?
Actually, Joshua, I get it. You know what, Joshua? You right. You absolutely right. Jews have always been.
We lost you. We lost you, sir.
Hello? Did the ADL get you?
You know why Jews have always been white, Joshua Benjamin? Because that's something new. The ancient Israelites, though, who the scriptures teach about, who the Torah talk about, who the Tanakh talk about, we're not Jews. So you can have that. You absolutely can have that. And run across the world with it like you have been doing for centuries, right? But the truth of the matter is, we don't give a damn about being a Jew because we know who we are now. So you can have that.
Is
Hey,
this Joshua from Clubhouse?
I
Is this
hope
Joshua?
not, but I'm.
Is this,
I hope,
hey, Joshua? Nah, bro. Nah, we not doing that, bro. If this
come
is
to
Joshua,
the panel, whoever this is. I hope it's not, because I'm thinking it's not.
Joshua, click that link right now. You got to explain yourself, man. And then you said circumcision was never part of Black history or culture. Are you kidding me? The Egyptians did circumcision.
I literally have a source for that. Actually, if you don't, I can pull it up. Well, give me a minute. I have to pull it up. But let me see if I can.
Yeah, pull that out, man. You got a source, man. Bring that out. This man is making claims.
You know what's not a part of our culture though, for real, for real. We grown men putting our mouths on our sons' penises after that.
You go get the video banned. You go get
Yeah, that's not a part of us. So yeah, you absolutely right. That part is not a part of our culture.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that right there. That's some crazy stuff right there. Giving baby syphilis and shit. We not playing them games. Then he said, "I don't think."
You go ahead. Then I'll pull it up.
No, go. You got the source right now. You ready to share?
Yeah, I got this one. I gotta scroll down and find it, but I guess I'll go ahead and post it for everybody to see the title. I was gonna wait to show this on my channel, but it seems that I probably should go ahead and just bring it out now.
All right, these are basically like memes they're throwing up right now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could convince a Black man to cut off his foreskin. Like, these are memes now. This is ridiculous. Go ahead somewhere with that. Another goofy.
But I really would like for him to push the link so he can read this particular source that I'm about to give him. So this is called Ritual Male Circumcision, A Brief History, because we're talking about circumcision. Here's all the information, the copyright, the college, the person who wrote it. So it's fairly documented, peer review source, and you can contact the person, all that type of stuff. So I'm actually going to let Yeshub read some of it. You can read the abstract, Yeshub, and then I'm going to scroll down to the relevant part.
All right. So the abstract says circumcision is arguably the oldest surgical procedure performed since before recorded history. This paper looks at its history and speculates on why and how it spread, and what it can teach us about the origins of Bantu tribes of Southern Africa, all of whom practice circumcision. It finally looks at medical aspects of circumcision and its place in developing societies.
Wait a minute. I thought Black folks didn't practice circumcision.
Let me get this comment. Let me put this comment on the.
Yeah, let me see that comment.
There it is.
Oh, so that sounds like a lie. All right, but I guess I can let you read this one paragraph right here.
Before we do that, we have a message from Dr. Reggie that he wants to convey to Joshua.
In Leonard Jeffries' class, Professor Everett Scobie class, John Henry Clark, he wouldn't even talk to you. Dr. Ben would call you a damn idiot.
All right, let's get to it. Where we at? History of circumcision?
Yeah, just read this one paragraph right here, and then there's one last thing you can read.
Okay, so ritual male circumcision is known to have been practiced by South Sea Islanders, Australian Aborigines, Sumatrans.
Oh, my bad, not that paragraph. This one right here, Jews and Muslims. This was
okay. It says as important as circumcision to Jews and Muslims, both of whom honor Abraham, the first named person recorded in history as being circumcised, as one of the founding fathers of their faith. The practice of circumcision did not originate with either Abraham or the prophet Muhammad. There is evidence that it was common practice in the Arabian Peninsula, from where, in the 4th millennium BCE, two groups of people migrated into what we today call Iraq. These were the Sumerians, and slightly later the Semites, the forefathers of the Hebrews. Many remained there, whilst others moved on as far north as Assyria, today's Kurdish region of northern Iraq and south eastern Turkey.
So I just wanted to bring that out because it shows circumcision being in the ancient Near East. But now we're going to go to the relevant part, which is going to deal with quote unquote black people, but Bantus. So let me make sure I get
You can stroll past it. You had the Egyptians doing it too.
right. The Egyptians did it as well, but I was going to kind of
2400 BCE.
right. It's really old.
It's never part of black history or culture, he says.
Here's a good section you can read right here if you want.
Yeah, let me read that. It says, some suggest that Abraham and subsequently the Jews adopted what was in fact a rite of passage into adulthood with all of its responsibilities. White House speculates that originally circumcision was for the Jews, a form of blood sacrifice analogous to the offerings of hair customary amongst their neighbors, the Syrians. Even today, when Zulu, Limba, and Amashosha boys in southern Africa or Maasai and Kenya are circumcised, blood spilt during the procedure is then symbolically smeared on the youth's forehead. For the Jews, it became not a rite of passage into manhood, but a sign of a covenant, a solemn relationship with their God. Previously performed when the boy was an adolescent or immediately prior to marriage, it was changed to the 8th day of a boy's life, counting the day of a birth as day one, and subsequently only performed on adults when they converted to Judaism.
Interesting. So it mentions Zulu, Limba, and the Xhosa. So let's get to the next part. That gets.
Well, I thought it wasn't a part of Black history or their culture.
Right.
That's what he claimed.
Yeah.
So for the viewing audience, you see why we ask people to back up the information that they bring. Don't just bring the claim. Affirmation is not confirmation. We want to see where you're getting this stuff from. Can you give us some sources? Give us some material to back this stuff up.
Here's a really good part, and then we'll let this one be the last one. You don't have to read all of it. You can just read this part, or you can start up here, or you can start right here. This part is really good because it deals with the Bantu.
Says this body of people made up the migrants from Arabia, the Middle East, and some from West Africa moved south to become today's Bantu's people. Fire. It says the predominant racial group in Southern Africa today, composed of many tribes, each practicing ritual circumcision.
And where do they come from?
They came from Arabia, the Middle East, and some from West Africa, and they moved south to become today's Bantu's people.
Interesting.
And they practice circumcision.
Middle East is what you call the Levant, right?
Exactly.
Correct.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure I'm on point.
And we'll stop right there because we don't got to read all that. That kind of proves our point. But it's a good article. I advised what's your name, Joshua Benjamin, to read it and look into the references. But yes, circumcision has been quote unquote black people.
And what this source also do, what that source also do, fam, it shows you the practices amongst the so-called tribe, West African tribes that we was attached to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
High be praised says you have to realize most of these white people don't read, man. These white Hebrew Israelites don't read, man. We've been begging them for sources all day. They can't give us one book. You know what I'm saying?
And y'all supposed to be smart. Ain't your IQ supposed to be like over 100 or something?
He made another statement here, bro. He says there aren't any. Come on.
Wait, what?
Tonight it's just silly. This is just silly ass shit after silly ass shit, bro. There aren't any blacks in any Holocaust photo because Jews are white. They are identified through circumcision.
Have you heard of the transatlantic and trans-Saharan slave trade?
I don't even know. We're not using the Holocaust to identify Israelites. We don't care about that.
And let's just be real.
And blacks were in the Holocaust, by the way.
That's a fact.
Let's just be real clear about this, right? The reason that you don't see so-called blacks in the Holocaust is because what you see is constructed from Hollywood. So you're not gonna see black people in the Holocaust. But when you read, you get understanding. But I'm gonna just leave that there. I'm gonna go ahead and mute out.
It's funny because there's a famous Sephardic Jew that survived, a black Sephardic Jew that survived the Holocaust. He was a painter. And we could pull that up and show you that as well. So it's just funny how you view things, you know.
I
He
mean,
also,
we even fought in World War II and got captured and were sent to those camps, black soldiers and stuff. So what are you talking about? You do know we fought in World War II, right? Like we were there, freeing your people.
Black people fighting in the army? No, that's not true.
Have you heard of the Red Tails? Look up the Red Tails and the Harlem Bulldogs or something like that.
Yeah. Tell them, you know, they ain't gonna read, so tell them to go watch that movie Red Tails.
It's a good movie, by the way. Go check it out.
Hey, he says tribes. You can't figure out how tribes are determined. It isn't through lineage. What is it? What is a tribe? How does a tribe even start?
Wait, what? It isn't through lineage, but don't we all claim to be descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob?
This dude,
isn't
man.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob a lineage? What? Or there be one tribe because all 12 sons had the same dad? That's a lineage. What are you telling me?
He's so over there worked up. He can't even get his information out right.
Bro, just click the link and you can verbally say what you got to say. You don't got to text if you don't want to text.
Another goofball.
Yeah,
this might just be derailing from our original conversation.
Yeah, that's true, but it's like, man, the stuff they saying in the comments is so outstanding. It's like, what?
Well, look, Joshua, listen, brother, come on up here and teach us, man. Obviously, we don't know, according to you, just like you said. Obviously, we don't. So, the link is in the chat, Joshua. Come on up and teach us something, brother. We got a little time.
It's interesting how he derailed from the circumcision thing, so he had to make up another argument after we read that.
That's what they do until he run out of arguments. Then he gonna tell you that, you know, Jacob didn't exist.
Yeah. When he run out of ammo, man, he's gonna go to that.
Their default.
That's what they call that. That's the detonation button for the self-destruct. That's the self-destruct button. Once your bunker has been taken over, you pull the ring on the grenade and just drop it. Everybody.
Everybody get killed. Yeah.
This right here is him teaching us something, fam.
Man.
Oh my goodness, he's into the zodiac stuff. Bro, what are you, a Zoomer or something?
Yeah.
Only 20-year-olds talking about that. And a couple of like those QAnon moms.
All right, I found it. I found the Jew that was black that experienced the Holocaust. Let me share this real quick, man. Educate this brother. See, we doing something. Whoever you follow right now, whoever you kicking it with, not really doing for you, man. We giving you information. We showing you where we getting it from. You know what I'm saying? This dude said, birth stars determine tribe of Israel. Everyone born under the sky has a tribe. Oh my God.
That reminds me of the stuff that Yitzhak says, though, because Yitzhak says something similar to that.
So wait a minute. So where were you born, Josh? Are you Israelite? Are you claiming to be a Jew? I want to know where you were born. What star you was born under? How do you even know that?
That's a good question. We should have asked him that from the bat. What is your ethnic background?
He was born under the Star of David, y'all.
Yeah.
It do be like that, though. It do be like that. Everybody you meet is a descendant of David.
Yeah.
Joshua, pay attention. You in yeshiva school right now, bro.
Yeah, you in school, brother. All right, so this is the Soul of Judaism, page 112 to 114, about the Jews of African descent in America. And there's a particular story here about a Joseph Nasi. And what stands out with this guy and what's intriguing about this guy is that he was a Sephardic Jew that got caught up in the Holocaust. So let me read this. It says the story, Joseph Nasi, 1904 to 1976, reveals the paradoxes of hybrid identity in the early 20th century. Born in Paramaribo, Suriname, to the illustrious Nasi family and the descendant of the prominent Sephardi Jew David Nasi. Nasi immigrated to New York in 1919 to live with his father and study applied art. 10 years later, Nasi immigrated to Europe and installed sound systems for a film company while continuing his art training. In 1939, he married a Belgian woman and began earning his living as a portrait artist in Brussels. In 1942, just 4 months after the United States entered the war, Nasi was detained as an enemy national in German-occupied Belgium. He was still holding an American passport. He was later transported to the Laufen in the Titmonen internment camps in Upper Bavaria near the Austrian border. Writing to his wife from the camps, he reported, "There are about 500 of us here, supposedly Americans, but they are really Poles, Czechs, and all kinds." He was one of 50 Jews interned as an enemy national rather than as Jews, and although remained secretive about his religious background, he wrote that he warmly whispered shalom to his fellow Jews. So again, this is a black man. If you see him, you would say he's African American, right? That got caught up in an internment camp, in a concentration camp with 50 other Jews. So historically, you was wrong about that. It says Nasi remained an obscure figure until 1989 when some 115 of his drawings, paintings, and ink washes made a tour of New York, Jerusalem, Hamburg, Brussels, and Chicago. The first American public showing of his work, entitled In the Shadow of the Tower, was held by the Congregation Rodef Shalom in its Philadelphia Museum of Judica. The U.S. Holocaust Museum presented his work in an exhibit entitled Joseph Nasi, Images of Internment. His haunting sketches of black musicians and Jewish men, along with solitary figures set against bleak context of prison guards, watchtowers, and barbed wire fences, captured the gross ironies and physicality of confinement. Interestingly, Nasi was never adopted into the canon of Afro-American or even Afro-European artists. A search of his name on websites in the Studio Museum in Harlem and the Schomburg Center of Research in Black Culture turns up nothing. The fact that Nasi painted Jews and was known as someone who painted Holocaust imagery may have marginalized him as a Jewish artist and prevented blacks from claiming him as one of their own. Yet his status as a Jew is treated as ambiguous among Jews as well. The United States Holocaust Memorial Museum describes him as a black expatriate artist of Jewish descent rather than a Jew of African descent. His blackness is presented as a transcendent category. So, I mean, you really, Joshua, you should be thanking us, bro, because what we doing here tonight is educating you, man. We educating you. Them other dudes you hanging with, they not doing it, bro. They
We're
didn't
the
sit you down.
And let's just be honest. You know, when you go back to our ancient ancestors, this is what our priests did. They taught truth. They didn't withhold truth and tell lies like you things and you people do.
You know what we're doing again? We're doing what our ancestors did. We got to teach these Horians the way. I think we got to
Gotta be careful or they might steal it from us again.
Hey, Sean, what happened after the deportation of the Israelites? The lions came and started killing the people. What did the Assyrians have to do?
Well, you know what they did? They sent in a priest to come in and teach them how to live on the land. Teach them the ways of the land, just like we're doing now.
Got to do it all over again.
Have y'all heard any of the Jews tell y'all which priests converted them outside of Israel? Because I never heard of our ancestors converting anybody, or any strangers, any foreigners outside of our land. So did they ever give y'all the name of this so-called priest?
Actually, they didn't give us the name, but if you go to King 17, it never gives a name. It's definitely a priest, a Levite priest that went back, because we have a genetic study that shows the Samaritan Jews of today and showing their haplogroups. And they're J1, J2, and the priests were E.
Man,
Haplogroup E, 100%, and the Samaritan Levites from the the Samaritans from the tribe of Levi, the Kohanim family. Haplogroup E.
Yeah.
Everybody else,
We'll shoot you that. We'll shoot you that study.
For sure. I appreciate that.
everybody else is J, R, and something else. I think T maybe, but J and R, which are non-Semitic FM 89 lineages, would have adopted it from haplogroup E.
man, look at this comment, bro. He's saying that the Bible. Hold on, let me get the other one. Yeah, I don't want to misquote him. The entire Bible is astrology, numerology, and palmistry.
Oh, okay, this gotta be Yitzhak.
Is this
Why you think he got his hands posted up there? Because he feel like he got the star. He feel like he got the Star of David in his hand, bro. You peep that? Like,
isn't that like Zoroastrianism and the book of Zohar?
Well, not Zoroastrianism, because that's Persian, but that's like maybe some we call it
from the Zohar.
It's that book that the
Kabbalah.
The Kabbalah, yeah, the Kabbalah type stuff. It gets into that esoteric
right
meaning and stuff.
The dark science of our ancestors that we wasn't supposed to deal with.
Yeah, it gets into that weird esoteric stuff that I never fully understood.
If the Bible is all astrology and numerology, then why are you here arguing on who is a Jew? That's not astrology. We're dealing with real people, flesh and blood. You know what I'm saying?
No,
so the
that's
Bible
esoteric, book? Flesh and blood.
That's esoteric too.
Yeah. I mean, it technically is when you read the Kabbalah. All that stuff's esoteric, so it's kind of hard to. It is kind of hard.
Where you think where you think the world get the so-called Bible code from them crazy people? The dang on Bible code, bro. Really? Stop it, man. Stop playing. This is where the numerology and all that stuff come in at, because they tried to connect numbers and scriptures and letters and all, like counting numbers and man, stop it. Witchcraft.
This dude crazy, bro. So the Bible not a history book, Joshua. I want that question answered. Is the Bible a history book that records actual historical events? Because you said the entire Bible is astrology, numerology, and palmistry. So I want to know, do you believe that it's a historical book with actual people that lived in times past?
That's a good question, actually.
Of course, he's not going to even answer.
Is it a historical book?
Yeah. He said, why is the world called Satan's kingdom? Because every pole star used for navigation is positioned around star constellation Draco the dragon. The dragon has been okay. I'm not talking to you no more.
Yeah, he's diverted from the rich subject.
Yeah, that's some. You on some other stuff. This dude.
Hey, it's bedtime, man.
All right, good night, Sean. I'm sorry, bro.
Sean.
It's all good. It's all good.
We left you on here, man, with these crazy white Hebrew Israelites.
Oh man.
Haya said these white people have turned Israel into a fairy tale.
Oh man, have they not? It's crazy. Now they can't hold on to it no more. They can't hold on to it no more. Now it's a fairy tale.
Yeah, this day will come though. This day will come. Once you find out who's, I'm not even gonna get into that because I might get a little too. I'm gonna try to be PC about it, but.
What y'all think about this statement? So it ain't about who physically descended from Judah, who came from his loins. It ain't about that. But if you're born under the Venus, or if you're a Leo, you're Judah.
Wait, wouldn't that mean the whole planet will have like different tribes of Israel? Because everybody descends from a zodiac if you believe in that.
Everybody.
So the whole planet is Israel.
That boy on that good cushion and alcohol.
Joshua Benjamin, just out of curiosity, what's the bull zodiac? Which tribe of Israel would that one be? Just out of curiosity.
Hey, that's enough of this. That's enough of this dude, yo. Come on. That's enough of this dude, man. Come on.
This got to be a super troll, bro. This is a super troll. This ain't no regular troll. This dude made this account up. Come on.
Yo, it's after midnight. You know all the freaks come out.
Yeah, Taurus. Which tribe is Taurus? However you call it. Tartarus.
This got to be a made up. This got to be a fake account, bro. I don't believe this shit. This is not no
You
real
can push
person.
his account and see when it was made, like how young the channel is.
Man, listen. These dudes got us off our square right now.
Yeah, it's about 3 hours in. I'm about to end it, y'all. We'll pick up. Unless, Eva, you had some more things you want to bring out as it regards to that conversation.
If you want, you can go back to it and just scroll through it real quick, and we can see if there's anything we left out. But I feel like we covered a lot, but we can go and look and see real quick if there's anything. And and I'm glad we're having this live because I'm going to do a similar thing to this on my YouTube channel within the comment section, because a lot of things Laban said is a lot of stuff that I get as well, and it's kind of annoying. So I like to cover that.
Right, you said it right. He's proven nothing in his post, just like the people in the chat with those crazy claims. They didn't prove nothing; they just made claims. I actually have sources next to the title with the author, and then I respond. So E became the dominant haplogroup of the Proto-Semites. Game over. Then he claims that our sources contradict the Tanakh again. The man that doesn't even believe that the world flood happened, just like the Bible says, and that Noah, Ham, and Shem populate the entire earth. They don't even believe that. And I said, you don't believe in the book. And then you said my sources contradict nothing. Your personal interpretation of scriptures mean nothing over scientific and academic finds we find through archaeological and anthropology. Haplogroup E is proto-Semitic. Deal with it. And then you hit them with the Wikipedia article where it says EM34 is the main Middle Eastern variety of E1B1B and is thought to have arrived with proto-Semitic people in the late Copper or early Bronze Age. That's a dagger. Like, there's nothing else. Like, this guy's done, man. We're beating him up with academic sources. It's over with. Like,
we can actually end right there. Sure.
Yeah, and then I hit him with the special plea, ignoring argument in which the speaker deliberately ignores aspects that are unfavorable to his point. These guys do that all the time. They just ignore. And they also do this fallacy, man. For the audience that's listening, this is what these dudes do. Garfield does this. 93 does. All these dudes do this, man. It's called an ad hoc rescue fallacy. So it's very often we desperately want to be right and hold on to certain beliefs despite any evidence presented to the contrary. Avery and I have posted source after source after source showing and proving that E is proto-Semite, proto-Afro-Asiatic. And this guy is still going on and on with his rhetoric. It says, as a result, we begin to make up excuses as to why our belief could still be true and is still true despite the fact that we have no real evidence for what we are making up. That's these guys. This is what you guys do, man. On social media, in my comment section, this is what you do. You just making stuff up, don't have any evidence. You hear us say something, you still argue. We have no evidence. And he says, feel free to show the E1B1A in the Levant. And we click. And then he said, he even put, did you notice this? He said E1B1B wasn't in the Levant.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know why he said that.
2000 BC, like, bro, like, chill out, man. He doing too much. And then he went on. I'm not gonna read everything he says because he goes and you would tell me the Samaritan people sent to replace the people, wouldn't you? They are 27-year-old genetic isolates. They don't look like you either. They are almost entirely E1B1B, but you just said E1B1B wasn't there, dude. You would deny them. And the purest E1B1B. By the way, Yemenites are the highest average of Natufians at almost 80%. And they aren't Negro. And what
it's
I say,
we don't. Oh, my bad.
You said what now?
I was just about to say, it's funny how he said that we would deny the Samaritans. After a couple of minutes ago, we just, talked about how the Samaritans are the Israelites.
Right. The Samaritans have haplogroup E, the Samaritan Koi marker. The brothers just brought that out. And I said, we don't deny E1B1B. That's family. And I've always said that on my channel. This was also brought up. Remember we debated G-Con and Georgia Con and Kevin Jordan? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They made the same
they'll probably catch us on that too. Be like, oh, they don't look nothing like you. Okay, so my sister don't look nothing like me. That don't mean she's not my sister.
Exactly. They're still family because they come from the E family. They're our brother Clay. I said E3B is Yap. It's over for you. Because once you admit E3B there, our family's there. Our ancestors there. You can't get around it. And I posted the Genesis 9 because I know he don't believe that. But he claiming we are in conflict with the Tanakh, when actually these guys are in conflict with the Tanakh. And I said, let's see if he denies Genesis 9:19. Says all people come from three sons of Noah. Watch how he makes some shit up. So I guess you're saying Jews with haplogroup E are Jews. Thanks for proving your anti-Semitism.
Yeah, to get them on that
anti-Semitism. Yeah, these dudes are anti-Semitism. EM215 and EM35 are quite common among Afro-Asiatic speakers. The linguistic group and carriers of EM35 lineage have a high probability to have arisen and dispersed together from the Afro-Asiatic Yerhamat. Amongst populations with an Afro-Asiatic speaking history, a significant proportion of Jewish male lineages are EM35. Haplogroup EM35, which accounts approximately for 18 to 20% of Ashkenazi and 8.6% to 30% of Sephardi Y chromosomes, appear to be one of the major founding lineages of the Jewish population. So those that you accept as Jews,
a major founding lineage? One of the major founding lineages? Dang.
One of the major founding lineages.
But they were Jews because they got E though. So they're not Jews though.
Come on, man. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, man. Samaritan Levites. Here's the Samaritan Levites of Kohen have haplogroup E at 100%. They provided this source here. Priestly Kohen lineage from the tribe of Levi says, however, the biggest and most important Samaritan family, the Kohen family, was found to belong to haplogroup E. This article predated the change of the classification of haplogroup E3B1M78 to E3B1A-M78 and the further subdivision of E3B1A-M78 into 6 subclades based on the research of Crusani. So that's a dagger, man. Like, this dude was getting his ass whooped the whole time. And this is why he didn't show face tonight, because it would have been the same thing. It would have been the same exact thing. Then I had to teach him E1B1 is the father E1B1A and E1B1B, because he speaks of E1B1B as if we're not directly related to these people. We share the same ancestor.
Yeah, I said that earlier. He trying to separate E1B1A and E1B1B like they're not related.
Mm-hmm. People hate that fact that we're related to E1B1B.
But he said, look, here's the purest 2,700-year-old genetic isolates of E1B1B, the Samaritans. He says, is that you or something? I don't know what that means there. He's speaking in.
Let's make something real clear, too, with the Samaritans. All the Samaritans are not haplogroup E, just the Kohanim. The rest of them are J1 and J2.
Right. Watch this. So he put these pictures of Samaritans, and I'm guessing, like we just said, he was like, these white people, you ain't gonna say these white people are related to you. Look what I say.
Oh, my bad. I'll let you finish.
What were you gonna say, bro?
Well, I was just about to say, by the way, we don't even really know if he has pictures of Samaritans. Like, we don't know what ethnic group we're looking at. We just see a bunch of, like, I don't know, possibly Middle Eastern people. Like, he always uses the same image. A lot of the memes he posts on Facebook is the exact same thing. So we don't even know if these are actual Samaritans or who they are. And furthermore, it's always the same image. So it's kind of like, what? Like, can I even trust that?
Yeah, we don't know what it is, but we're gonna presume because dude don't cite no damn sources. He don't give us anything but his lip. But even if these were Samaritans, look what I say: white and black people make up our haplogroup E. That ends the argument. You got white and black people in our DNA, in our macro haplogroup. You have white people that live in the Balkans that have haplogroup E. You have white Ashkenazi people that have haplogroup E.
Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein, Adolf Hitler, haplogroup E.
We got a white brother that's a part of Yap Gang, Yaakov Ben David. Right. He's part of the Yap Gang. He run with us.
Lyndon
Maybe
B.
tomorrow if I could find time. If there's some time, we'll go over that the whole Samaritan. We'll do a live tomorrow and just touch on that portion with the Samaritan and that study, the Samaritans and the study.
Well, you gonna do your presentation tomorrow?
Probably not the whole thing. I'm not gonna have time, so I'll take that particular part out and we'll just go over it because people it's coming up too much with 2 Kings 17 and the Samaritans and historically what kind of problems the Samaritans gave Judah when they came back out of the Babylonian captivity.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Tomorrow,
it's coming up a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we'll cover some of it tomorrow. I'll just pull out that part and we'll go over it. Maybe tomorrow if I have the time on Saturday on the Sabbath. But we'll get it done because it's coming up too much.
Tomorrow, brother. What is tomorrow? I'm gonna get my days mixed up.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Thursday, okay.
And then Friday is when I'm gonna air my stuff on your channel.
All right, so maybe we'll do it tomorrow or on the Sabbath. But it's coming up too much. This whole Samaritan thing keeps coming up and it's time to just put this this study on the table, let everybody see it.
You mean actually show sources? Unlike these dudes? Actually show information for the people that's watching and actually refer to? Yeah, but they get killed on this race thing all the time, man. Just because someone has a different skin color doesn't mean they automatically have a different haplogroup.
You know what that actually proves, Yeshua? That actually proves that they are the racist ones, not us.
Yep. I was going to ask you guys, but it's getting too late. I forgot how to use that damn Jed match thing to pull up the Natufian for this part. I forgot how to do that. I guess we'll do that another time.
I could. Well, actually, no, I don't want to show that yet. But
I can touch on that the same day. We can touch on that the same day. I do the what's the name? The Samaritan study.
Well, I was about to tell you, shoot, that he can quickly do it right now because I can run him through the ropes real quick.
Yeah, show me how to do it real quick.
Oh, okay.
I remember y'all showed me before. I completely forgot.
But give me one quick second. I need to get my charger. My computer's about to die.
So this jam match right here. I don't even know what this is the Harappa thing. This is my jam match. It says Northeast European 8%. Then, of course, most of mine is West African, East African. But he was asking for Natufian. I forgot how to do that on here, man. I really don't know how to do it. So hopefully the brother can show me real quick, and then I'll just throw it up here and see what my Natufian is. Maybe I don't have any Natufian. I don't know. Well, we'll see here in a minute. But also, he thinks that just because you have autosomes of a particular, like look at my autosomal DNA, right? It says 8% Northeast European. That does not mean I directly descend from Northeast Europeans.
Mm-hmm.
I got 0.5% Caucasian. That don't mean I directly descend from Caucasian. My marker is EU 290. So I descend from a male with E. They don't understand that. They think autosomes let you know who you descend from. So that's why they keep bringing up Natufians. These dudes think they descend from Natufians. It's not true.
You must be Polynesian since you have 0.556. 0.5.
Elcon said, make sure your kit number is secured. All right. So when you go to the tools, let me do this off.
Yeah, go all the way back real quick.
Let me do this
What
off.
you want to go to is Jed Rosea. And then at Jed Rosea, go to Ancient Eurasia DNA. Should be all the way at the bottom.
Oh shit! I logged out.
Shout out EU 290.
Yeah, we have to do it again because I don't remember my password. But I forgot. I forgot how to do that. And I'll snapshot it.
Yeah. You can just do a screenshot when you.
All right, but let's get to this next part and we'll end it.
Yeah.
We'll end it. So here he says, I bet I'm more Natufian than you. Just because someone has more autosomal percentage than you in something does not mean they descend from those people. But he obviously thinks that. And I said, you do not descend from Natufians. And then you told him, right, the human do have Natufian DNA and they look like this. And he gave a visual. And these are all people that he's racist against because they got melanin in their skin.
Mm-hmm. You call them people sand N-words.
Sand niggas, yeah. Yeah, you know he does. And then he says, tell me why E1B1B is on the top with no genetic continuum to you E1B1A on the bottom. The reason why is because E1B1B markers are mixing with European women and other women. And the markers down here, the reason why their autosomal DNA isn't the same is because they're mixing with mostly Africoid women. That's why it's easy.
You know, the thing about this chart, oh my bad.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
The thing about this chart, though, is that I don't even see where it says E1B1B or E1B1A, like, anywhere on here. Like, it doesn't even say that.
It doesn't at all. But what he's trying to get at is these populations cluster with each other. I'm familiar with it. It's like a genetic distance matrix.
Right. And that's a old one. Like, if you look at the more, like, that's all the way back in 2008. If you look at the more recent ones, we have way better sampling since then.
Mm-hmm.
So he's using that old stuff.
But even with autosomes, again, all it does is shows who you admix with. But when we're talking about direct descent, parent to parent, father to father to father to father, we share ancient forefathers with E1B1B markers. There's no way around it. He doesn't understand that because he don't understand how DNA works.
Right. And if you looked at new papers say, and you did a video on this issue, that there was, in fact, Eurasian admixture in sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes.
That's why you got to look at the more up-to-date papers, not these old ones. So that thing he posted right there doesn't even it's out of date. It's outdated, should I say? Because Africans do, in fact, have a Eurasian admixture within them.
Exactly. Bantu-like ancestry that's associated with the Bantu expansion. I mean, the Bunt-like ancestry associated with the Bantu expansion. I'm sorry, this is just comedic. This boy said your DNA is written in your palm lines. All right. I'm just going to put that up there. Anybody can laugh at. So I respond to this brother saying sharing autosomal DNA and actually descending from them is two different things. But given the combo, it's clear you don't know too much about how DNA transmission works, nor the difference in vertical relatedness versus horizontal relatedness. He don't even understand what that means. Vertical relatedness means you directly descend from somebody. Like, for instance, we're arguing we directly descend from Abraham. That's a vertical relationship. But Abraham may have married Keturah. That's horizontal relationship. So the gene that Keturah had and her family had may pop up if Abraham was living. Let's say he lived today and we took his DNA. His sons lived. And we took their DNA test. They would have autosomal genes from their mother, right? Ishmael would have autosomal genes from Keturah. Is it Ishmael, Keturah, or am I mixing them up? Keturah, no, Midian. The Midianites, they would have autosomal genes from Keturah, but they don't directly descend from Keturah's people, right? So that's how you properly look at autosomal DNA. Autosomal DNA does not do the same thing as sex chromosomes, Y DNA, and mtDNA. Y DNA traces you all the way back to your father. Putatively, it's going to be Abraham. That's who we're arguing for. And mtDNA traces your mothers. Autosomal DNA shows you all the in-between stuff, the cousins, the nieces, the nephews, that the DNA that you would have picked up by marrying somebody, admixing with another group. All right, so it says, but given the convo, it's clear he doesn't know what he's talking about. He says, I know I'm higher than you. And then Avery actually posted a picture of the Natufians here, reconstruction, and it's actually a dark skinned male, which he has a problem with.
Yeah, I
You know?
posted this because he said that what the Samaritans look like, and I'm like, okay, the Samaritans happen to be from Natufians, so this is what the Samaritans' ancestors will look like, which is the Natufians.
Right. Notice there's no prognosticism with this skeleton here, just like Ramesses III. I said, if you are FM89 lineage, you do not descend from Natufians. That's a fact. You do not directly descend from Natufians if you have haplogroup J, I, or any of the other groups. You're not. But you keep referring to these people as if they're your forefathers. They're not. They're E markers. You have FM89 lineage. It's a separate, totally different lineage. You come from a different group of fathers. Remember, what does haplogroup mean? A group of individuals that share a common ancestor. That's what a haplogroup means. So if you have haplogroup F, you share a different set of ancestors than haplogroup E. And then Avery says haplogroups, autosomal DNA are two different forms of DNA. And it's like we're talking over this guy's head at this point. And he keeps saying, post your Natufian percentage. Not that I care. They aren't proto-Semites, but we mix with them. Go ahead. Again, it doesn't mean anything. Facts, all people descend from Noah anyways, unless he's going to deny the part of the Bible, which he is. and I said he doesn't understand what sex chromosomes do versus autosomes, which is true. Then he says, he got to get derogatory. I said, you're not a Natufian. No way around it. And then you asked for his haplogroup, and we've been waiting for this.
He never gets.
LeBron, give us your haplogroup. Why are you afraid to get? What are you, a haplogroup Q or something? Like, give us your haplogroup.
He's a Scythian.
He's a Scythian, man. And he says his percentage is more than what my percentage would be, which wouldn't mean anything. It does not tell you who you descend from. He said, that doesn't mean anything. This is why I said I could be 22% Natufian. Doesn't mean I directly descend from them, dilettante. And then Avery getting gangster on said, hurry and post your haplogroup. And he keeps saying,
I only said that because he kept on calling me Bantu.
Bantu, yeah. And then Avery says, doesn't matter if you don't have haplogroup E. If you don't have the haplogroup E, which is of the Natufians, it doesn't matter if your people mix with them. And you posted this Paleolithic DNA from the Caucasus reveals a core West Eurasian ancestry, which it says such a scenario would also explain the presence of Y chromosome haplogroup E in the Natufians and Levantine farmers, a common link between the Levant and Africa. Come on, man. Another source.
Birthplace of proto-Semites.
Come on, man. He keep going with his poster percentages, and we ask for his haplogroup. He won't give it to us. He talks about this other guy, Zach. We don't care about that. He's talking about this is pretty much the end of the conversation that I was a part of. And I said he will not post his Y DNA because he knows damn well he doesn't directly descend from them. He knows that we descend from EP2, which was found in the Natufian subset. It's over. The Hurrian Europoid. This is a Hurrian Europoid mix, and that's why I think he is. I don't know his haplogroup, but he's most likely a Caucasus hunter-gatherer.
But we found out this whole time he was like Chinese or something. All the way haplogroup O up there in Mongolia.
Oh God! Shout out to the white Hebrew Israelites, though. Shout out. This is crazy. And then you post the same article. It doesn't matter if he's not haplogroup E, exactly. Then now he's getting upset. Bantu, you're not a Natufian E1B1A boy, but guess what? I'm more related to them than you because E1B1 is there, E1B1B is there. You're not of the E family. We can't prove who you are.
You're YAP negative.
Yeah, you're YAP negative, man. The Natufians are YAP positive. And we still ask for him to post his haplogroup, and then it is pretty much at this point back and forth here on that. I'm gonna
At
read
least
these.
scroll down to the part where I tell him to join, where I send the link and everything, so everybody can see that we did give him a chance to join the live, because I post that. There it is. You posted too. So we did give him it. We're not just saying all this stuff and keeping him out of the conversation. Like, we offered him to come on.
Lynn Hunter, what is your haplogroup? He says, so we are the link between the Levant and Africa. No, the ancient DNA and the Natufian Levantine formers is the link between Levant and Africa. And a lot of the papers that I brought out in my latest video shows that pretty much we were traveling back and forth, the Levant and North Africa. We were frequenting both areas.
And when you think about it, that's what you find in scripture too. I mean, where did Abraham go? He went into the Levant and into Egypt and back into the Levant. So he was basically doing the same thing his Natufian ancestors would have done, going back and forth.
Yep. And you want to go before the Natufian ancestors, you go to the Ibero-Maurusians that was doing that before them. You know, that was our North Africa and the Levant and all the corridor. That's our stomping ground for thousands of years. You get these Johnny-come-latelys coming in the Copper Age. Y'all come in the Copper Age. We was already there in the Stone Age, in the Holocene. We was already there, developing agriculture. You know what I'm saying? Developing Afro-Asiatic languages.
Afro-Asiatic culture.
Yeah, and culture. Y'all came in, absorbed it, took our style, swagger jacked us, and now 2,000-3,000 later, we got to come here and tell y'all what the real deal is. It's what a yap marker is, man.
And they killed a lot of us. Y'all want to know the reason why the Yemeni people have the highest amount of Natufian DNA and why it's not in the Levant? Is because those people came in and killed a lot of the ancient descendants of the Natufians, and they migrated into Arabia and went into Yemen. That's why the Yemeni people had the highest amount of Natufians. They fled. They're being murdered way back there in the early Bronze Age with all those wars and stuff. And it's fun because in the book of Genesis chapter, I think it's like 15, we do hear of the war of the 10 kings where Abraham is fighting against those Mesopotamian peoples coming into the Levant. So it's all kind of lining up.
Right. You hurry into your J marker coming in to our ancestral abode. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I'm actually coming out with a presentation where I actually do believe that Shem was the one to first settle the Levant, and that land was ancestral to all Semites. That was the homeland, the birthplace of all Semitic peoples. But it was stolen by J markers and other peoples, and the task of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was to basically reclaim the promised land. So it's not that they're stealing the land from Canaanites. They're reclaiming their ancestral homeland that was always the homeland of Semites. So because, I don't think God would say steal this land from people. I feel like that land was always Semitic. But those J markers and other peoples came in and stole it. So that's why Abraham was tasked to go and take it back, and the Israelites. And there was one other point I was going to make. And dang, I forgot the last point. But yeah, that's basically, a video that I'm going to bring out here soon.
And we know who those Canaanites were. They're not original Canaanites. They're Hurrians. That's what they are.
All the papers say
it. Yep. And they migrated from the Zagros and the Caucasus Mountains. That's why they're trying to say Abraham's from the Caucasus now, because all the genetic evidence is telling you the origin of the J marker.
Hey, Joshua, you say it's all astrology. What calendar system do y'all go by, Joshua? Can you tell me without me even mentioning the calendar system? What calendar system do y'all go by? Now, be honest, because I know. I want to see if you know, since you want to talk about astrology and all that.
I asked him a direct question earlier, man. Hopefully he respond, man. Because I asked that directly. I put the link in 4 times, man.
Man, we won't be rude. I mean, we'll be more chill when you come. We're not gonna be just yapping at you.
Yeah, we're gonna let you speak. You're going to get to speak, brother. Just click the link. I don't know why y'all got all the bravery in the world in the comment section, but when it comes to actually speaking for yourself and you know, saying breaking these things down, y'all don't want to do it. Y'all camera shy or something?
If you camera shy, then don't show your face. You can just, have an avatar.
Exactly. Come on, man. We don't bite.
Well, nah, you shoot my bite, but I don't bite.
All right, I'm trying to get this source, but for some reason it wants to be fuzzy. Let me try 150. About what you said about Shemites actually being in the Middle East and that actually being their initial dispersal zone.
Oh, you're going to bring up the Book of Jubilees, aren't you?
No. I could do that too. Well, right here, the DNA, this is Clayasaw's book on DNA genealogy, page 89. And he breaks it down like that. He says, F through R, including T, represents Europeoids. And according to Josephus, the first people to come into Europe would have been Japhites. So this would be all of the F lineages would be Japhet. So haplogroup J, the one y'all call the Jewish marker, that's Japhet. There'll be Europeoids or Caucasoids, as he puts in his book. But then when you get to our DNA, when you get to D&E, when you get to our DNA, he calls it apparently Middle Eastern haplogroups, DE, split 42,000 years before present. So he's naming DE Middle Eastern.
Powerful.
You said what?
Powerful.
Exactly. Those will be your Shemites, man. And that's what y'all gonna just have to deal with that, man. Wake up and smell coffee on that.
Yeah, Josh, you're not that bright nor intelligent. So yeah, we're giving you the floor to teach. We're not trying to teach, right? So that last statement you made is irrelevant. So either you come on here and give us some understanding about this calendar system, right? Or continue to troll, man. I mean, you got options. Hit that link.
I think he upset, man, because everything he said, he got exposed on. A lot of this, you know what I'm saying, the circumcision statement that you made, you got exposed on. Like, come on, bro. You just getting exposed left and right. And really what he should say right there is, I have nothing to teach, because you don't have anything to teach. You don't have no sources, no nothing. So this is you, man. You upset, bro.
You looking at yourself crying in the mirror?
Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. That's you right now, man. That's you, man. All right, I'm done with him, man. I'm not gonna keep, begging this dude to prove himself, man. Just remember, before we leave, I got one PSA for y'all, man. Don't end up like these dudes in the comments, getting slapped up, twisted up. And LeBron, make your way on the channel and actually come with an argument and back your claims up, because you just got beat the fuck up today. I don't have nothing. I can't put that nicely. But use your goddamn noggin, please.
Hi, everybody. Time to use your noggin. How do you use your noggin, you say? Well, here's how you use it every day. Use your noggin when you write a letter. Use your noggin when you make it better. Use your noggin when you play guitar. Use your noggin to spot a star. Use your noggin when you make a scene.
Hold on. While we say use your noggin, this brother again come back on her saying, blacks are chosen. Then why don't any of that race resurrect from the dead? What?
Wait, what? If blacks are chosen, then okay, interesting. So is it The Walking Dead now or something?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, bro. This is what I'm saying. Use your noggin, man. These people ain't even using their brains. They just up here talking.
One quick note I want to make is this, though.
I think he's a gremlin.
Wait, what'd you say, Sean?
I think he's a gremlin.
Well, but one quick note I want to make for everybody to understand is this. All we did was read academic papers. You can't get mad at us for reading academic papers. Don't shoot the messenger. Go talk to those scientists, archaeologists, linguists, and all the people in the field of anthropology that wrote those papers and those books and those academic journals. Because all we did was read it to prove our point.
But this
We
is why
didn't
they
make it.
forefathers didn't want us to read. This is why they was killing us. You know what I'm saying? If they caught us reading, because we exposed them just like this. We was doing our ancestors was doing it back then, but you know what I'm saying? They had a little power, so they put a little stop to it. But I dare y'all to try and stop us now. I dare you.
No, we ain't ever gonna let slavery happen to us again. Too late. Never.
Hey, El Kyle said, so I guess zombies are the chosen now.
Zombies and vampires and all the ghouls of the dead.
Come on, man.
That's
Hey,
kind of
man.
satanic when you think about it, though. It's a bit satanic.
Man, he WHIs, bro. He WHIs. He coming up with some crazy stuff, man. Oh man. Oh, now he going for the chuckle. This the racism coming out. He said you claim that blacks are a chosen race, and none of that race is levitating above the rest. We are currently lowering education standards so they can graduate. This thing
When did we say that blacks was the chosen race? I'm trying to remember that statement that I made.
I don't know what he. No one's.
And what is black?
We said half the group E got black and white people in it. I don't know what he talking about. This nigga just went straight racist. Soon as we started.
When all else fails, you know, we're gonna turn real anti-Shemitic, right?
Joshua Benjamin, what did I just say? All we did was read academic papers. You can't shoot the messenger for just reading something. Come on now.
He about to call us nigger.
It'd be funny.
That's the next step.
Remember that time we were on Clubhouse? That guy just said, "You nigga."
Yeah.
What you getting mad at me for?
Right. We bringing out information and scientific studies. Why we got to be niggers now? Like, come on, bro.
I dare you, Jason. I dare you. I dare you. Go ahead. Try it. Say it. Say it.
But the sad part is that better not be the Joshua that we know. That would be kind of disheartening. I wouldn't really like that.
Oh my god!
I have to go slap him up. I got to go up there to New York. Actually, no, I have to get Sean to do it.
Get the COVID. What this dude? All right, we done with you, man. We can end the show, man.
Yeah, you're a clown. You're a real clown. All right, circus clown. You go take the pin off your face now.
He go cry.
You looking at yourself cry in the mirror?
Man, that's a good meme right there.
All right, man. 7 games, plus gang over everything. You know how we rocking, man. We out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit can get real freaky. About Pippi Long and Dashiki. Where you at in the address, they'll meet you. We ain't going back and forth and fake beefing. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. I'm the reason everybody got K's on the block. What I pay for my watch, don't you hang with the cops? It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Hang with the ops, you'll get slayed with the ops. I'm the reason everybody got K's on the block. What I pay for my watch, don't you hang with the cops? It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. Shit, nigga. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Like, why you even hanging with them for? Oh, that's your cousin, I put his brains on the floor. They don't never throw no money at the club. All they do is see you and speak me up. Like, what's with all the dick riding, bro? He's a nobody, I sent his ass to the stove. deep on shit, what you got up on my 40? I like FNs, Dracos, 9s, and little 40. I sent LJ and MJ outside the garage, you know. Give us front row tickets right now before we extort you. Better listen when I speak right now, who getting money? They'll slide up on your block right now, I'm not important. Hang with the ops, you'll get slayed with the ops. I'm the reason everybody got K's on the block. What I pay for my watch, don't you hang with the cops? It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Hang with the ops, you'll get slayed with the ops. I'm the reason everybody got K's on the block. What I pay for my watch, don't you hang with the cops? It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. Shit, nigga. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Fake tough, you must be off a pill, bro. My shooter with me ain't always in kill mode. Thanks to Rami, I'm always in chill mode. Don't think about it, nigga, I'll kill some. Don't make me go up in the go yard still package. Did him like SpongeBob, I'll kill Patrick. I make niggas give real good captions and double back on the candlelight and get it cracking. Get the slap, who put $10,000 on my head, niggas capping. Niggas rappers, niggas actors, niggas bitches, niggas faggots. When his body hit the ground, get his jacket. The op lover died too, it was tragic. Hang with the ops, you'll get slayed with the ops. I'm the reason everybody got K's on the block. What I pay for my watch, don't you hang with the cops? It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Hang with the ops, you'll get slayed with the ops. I'm the reason everybody got K's on the block. What I pay for my watch, don't you hang with the cops? It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. Shit, nigga. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. It's 2021 and niggas still broke. Man, we don't do ops. We don't do niggas who hang with them, associate with them. Nigga, we don't give a fuck about none of that, nigga. Yeah, we gon' put you in this casket too. Shit, we gon' get this nigga a 6-man casket. Yeah, hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. Nigga, hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. Yeah, yeah. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. Hang with the ops, you get slayed with the ops. It's 2021 and niggas still broke.
Hey, before we get out of here, man, this brother Joshua Benjamin's a racist. He said, what's funny is blacks tracing lineage to determine tribe of Israel and don't know who their daddy was to start.
I know who my dad is, so I know.
I know who my
exactly
dad is.
who my father is. He's in my life. Like he's literally in the other room sleeping right now because he's about to do work tomorrow morning, and I can't be too loud because he has to go to work. But yeah, my dad's a working black man, and I live under the same roof as him. By the way, I'm a college student, so I'm not a dropout. 23 years old, college student, and mass communication major, and
Excuse me.
Dagger.
Oh yeah. Well, when you beat these white Hebrews, these WHIs get beat the hell up with sources and science and information, the racists come out.
They really do, though.
That's sad.
You don't know who your daddy is.
That's the best thing.
Oh,
right,
you can't.
Also, my grandparents, also my mom. So
you can't make this up.
Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. And Friday, Avery's gonna drop a bombshell on you, and Sean tomorrow's gonna drop a bombshell on you. So y'all stay in tune. Peace.